Sweet. Awesome. You guys probably saw the text that you guys all got with the link to this. Appreciate you guys joining. In terms of context, so you guys know kind of what this is for, what we're doing, what we're going over, is really just an opportunity for you guys to ask questions, go over ideas, anything to kind of help with all the aspects of lead generation, lead nurturing, which is everything that happens after lead gen and before sales, closing, fulfillment, recruitment. Anything that you can ask me that I might have knowledge on, if you can ask Vincent, since obviously he's growing at a really fast pace and he's somebody that can definitely answer a lot of questions. This is kind of what that's for. In terms of timeline, this is something that we're going to be doing kind of every 2 weeks ish. So this is the first of many. So we'll have the next one in 2 weeks from today, which will be every Sunday at 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. And so if you guys ever want the opportunity to pop in, ask questions specifically to Vincent or myself, then this is a good time to do that. And obviously, we'll record all these calls in case you want to check them out. But definitely a good opportunity if you want to pop in for 5-10 minutes or spend the whole entire time to ask questions. And by all means, don't feel obligated to stay here for the full time. Obviously, we'll be here from anywhere 60 to 90 minutes. Feel free to hop out whenever you want. No hard feelings. But beautiful. Like I mentioned, we're not really going to kind of go over and discuss a specific topic that we're going to have prepared. It really is just an opportunity for you guys to kind of talk about what your current constraints are in the business, ask questions on it, and overall just kind of ask myself, Vincent, anybody else in the call, what you might need help on. And that could be anything, right? It doesn't need to be specifically what we help you guys with, which is lead generation. It can really be anything. Hey, my conversion rate's low. How can I fix that? Hey, people are coming uneducated and I'm getting a lot of unqualified leads. How can I fix that? Hey, I want to make sure that I have a brand that lasts for the next 5 to 10 years that I can eventually scale to exit and sell the business, or scale to delegate so I can one day be on a beach and sip a pina colada and not have to work every day. Anything regarding that. And then Vincent can obviously help with things on the recruitment side of things. For those of you who don't know, he just got into a shop. If you're comfortable sharing, Vincent, if you want to talk about your insane rent, yeah, how you're gonna keep afloat, what's been working for you, what's not, and then if you guys want to ask questions on anything, by all means,
No, of
tune in.
course. I think that most of you guys know me here. I know that Muhammad knows me. Michael, I know that you know me. You probably know most about me too. We just never actually hopped on a call. But Pablo, I'm not sure if you know anything about me, but real quick, to keep it short, there's not a lot of people on this call, but I'm actually kind of glad there's not a lot of people. That means that each one of us here can gain a little bit more value, and we can probably work on every single one of your guys' issues tonight. But real quick, all I did was pretty much pretty fast too, over the course of the past year. Yes, I have ran businesses in the past prior to that, but in the past year and a half, I scaled my decline business from about to 20 to 30 to $50,000 per month, and we did that all mobily with 2 technicians, and now I'm currently in a shop, a very nice shop too. You guys, this is pretty much the whole entire thing. I'm pretty sure that most of you guys saw it. We just got into a massive shop, and another great thing about me too as well is I've just now stepped completely out of the business. I'm officially the CEO of my company, and I have sales delegated, I have technicians delegated, and I have operations delegated. So I have everything inside of my business delegated. All I have to do is wake up every single day, keep a pulse on the business, and then focus on those needle moving tasks every single day. So that's pretty much about it. I mean, I was able to scale pretty fast in revenue, and then also too, just be able to delegate out too, because now it's like I have all this stuff going on. Some days I wake up, I do all my morning meetings, and it feels like I'm getting nothing done, when in reality the business is still growing and pushing because other people are doing those tasks. So that's a little background on me. I know that most of you guys are already familiar, so I won't go any more into that. But real quick, I think that since there is a minimal amount of people on this call, I think what we should do is treat it almost like a group one-on-one. So I think that we should honestly go break down all you guys, and know that is Pablo a window cleaner or a detailer?
Pablo is a mobile detailer.
Awesome. So
Sorry,
Pablo's a detailer, Muhammad's a detailer, and Mike, I know that you're window cleaning. Same stuff applies. Yes, I might not know about the fulfillment when it comes to window cleaning, but same thing, service-based business, especially here in New Jersey as well too. I'm familiar with the area. So yeah, so we'll jump straight on into it. Real quick, anything as a group that you guys want to go over real quick, or do you guys want me to just break down one-on-one to start?
You can go into your thing.
Okay. Yeah. No, yeah, of course. So who would like to, I'll just go, who would like to go first? So I know that this is the first call, so obviously there's no prior stuff that we talked about before, but the main thing I want to talk about tonight is, simple. I don't want to beat around the bush. I want to talk about what's holding you guys back right now. So real quick, I think the best thing to do is each one of you guys should probably give an introduction on yourself. Tell me where you're at in revenue, tell me your bottlenecks, and then we could all, not only just tell it to me, but tell it to Sebastian and the whole entire group as well. So Mike, we'll start with you. Just tell me a little background, for the group, and then also what's going on in your business.
Yeah. So we're a home service business, basically year round up until
December to February after after lights are done. So that's the hole I'm trying to fill right now. But we started with just window cleaning. We were subcontracting out installs, repairs, and all that type of stuff. We got into gutter cleaning. Gutter cleaning turned into downspouts, gutter guard installs. And after that, I realized I was like, oh, I gotta do something when it gets cold out. Started the holiday lights. We've already done a couple of installs. It's been pretty cool. Makes a lot of people happy. And yeah, it's pretty simple right now. Kind of like stuck right now, and I would say I'm like a 15 to 20K a month. 20, like I think 23 was the highest. So I'm trying to figure out how to push past that. And I think a lot of it's because I'm so tied in with the technicians, because a lot of we offer so many different things, and that's what I'm trying to learn how to, you got to learn how to clean a window, you got to learn how to clean a gutter, you got to learn how to install a downspout, you got to learn. So I'm trying to. I have one guy now. He's been pretty solid, so he's seen everything so far. So actually, I think next week I might let him take out the truck by himself, so I can focus more on, whether it's knocking doors or answering calls and things like that. That's my issue right now, getting off the truck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're in a perfect position. I think there's a few minor things that need to get tweaked. Also to Lewis and then Emma, you guys just joined in. I think one more staff. I'm not too sure if you staff, but we're pretty much just doing how we're gonna handle this call is, since even though a couple more people doing, there's still like not a ton of people on here. So what we're gonna do is me and Sebastian are just gonna go around to every single person. We're just gonna ask you guys, a little bit of background on your business, what are your bottlenecks, and then we're kind of gonna do like a group one-on-one. Everyone is welcome to please, and Stab, if you could turn on your camera as well too, that would be much appreciated. But also too, if you guys want to jump in at any point, feel free. Even though we're kind of doing one-on-one, breaking it down with each one of you guys, it's still going to be a group call. So I want everyone to gain knowledge here. So if anyone you guys want to jump in, at any point whatsoever, welcome to do so. You don't have to raise your hand, just go ahead and just shout over me. I don't really care. So yeah, so real quick, Mike, another thing too I have for you, Mike, is how many employees do you have? And then also too, just do you still do the work? Do you have the employees? I know your brother does it as well.
Yeah, so my brother, he's also a partner of mine. What he does, during the summertime, it was a little more automated for me, because my brother would be out there managing the crews, whether it was a 2-man crew or two-man crews. He'd kind of be there circling the guys. I'd be out either knocking doors or doing stuff on the business. Right now, I've kind of had I would say within the last 3 to 4 months, I've had about 5, 6 different guys coming through. So there was probably 2 or 3 of them that just weren't the right fit at all. And then one of them found a job, he wanted to go, corporate route, and then because he graduated college. And then the other one I have right now, he's solid. He seems really interested in what I'm doing. So I'm paying him well and keeping him around, So
Perfect.
Yeah.
So to keep everything simple for you, Mike, I think that all we're dealing with here is everything I'm hearing great, bro. You're in a really good position, bro, to scale to that 30, 40, 50, and then maybe even that 100K a month goal, as soon as possible. I think all you have to do is really lock down that hiring process and procedure, have constant guys flowing in. And then I think that all you have to do from here is, your main source of lead gen is door knocking and then meta ads as well too, correct?
Yep. They just launched yesterday, so.
Okay, perfect. So brand new. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so I think that really the only thing we got to do is lock down in your hiring process, which we'll go over real quick. I think this will help every single one of you guys. That's something I've been focusing on a lot recently. And then also too as well, Mike, the other thing is just simply, I think all we have to do is continue doing what we're doing at just a higher rate and higher volume. And then we just have to lock down a little bit of your marketing. I think that's literally it. If you focus on those 2 things, you'll be able to grow and scale. Obviously, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but the main things that I see is that. So let's go over a bit of hiring. This way you have a little bit of less turnover, because that's what I'm noticing too, is your guys are turning over. That's essentially means that your guys join and then they leave. So we want to lower your turnover. We want to have some key players in your business. The reason why my business functions so well is because I almost have another version of me that he doesn't own the business, but we've been doing this from the beginning together. But he has so much vision inside of the company to scale and own a location one day that he treats the business as if it's his own. So we want key players. You're already in a good position. You've got your brother. Your brother's solid. I know him. He obviously is friends with the Norcios, which is my cousins. And pretty much all we have to do really is get a couple more key players in place, lower your turnover, get that solid hiring process. So we'll talk about that first, and then we'll jump in a little bit more volume. But the first thing that I want to show you is, let me share my screen real quick. Let me get this pulled up. and this is something that I want to talk to all of you guys about. Mohammed, you might be familiar with it. It's something that Brandon uses. It's from a guy named Wade Houston. The majority of what he talks about is what I'm going to talk about, but I figured out a way to make it more dialed in towards service-based businesses such as detailing, such as window cleaning. So real quick, and one thing too, guys, obviously every single business owner is going to have their strong points and their weak points. My strong points, I would definitely say, are systems. I'm very OCD person in like every aspect of life, and one of the main things that I'm really good at is building systems. And essentially, Mike, if you're not too familiar with systems are just procedures that you have in place that are the most optimized way to do something, and that's how it gets done every single time. So for example, before every single job, I have my guys perform a detailed inspection using an iPad. Now that I call our detail inspection system. It gets done every single time, and there's a reason why it gets done every single time, because this helps us collect, photos of the vehicle before, all that sort of stuff. So that's just a basic system. Now you can plug and play these systems everywhere inside your business to the point where it's like, you got to think, how does McDonald's deliver the same burger every single time, but yet there's a different employee, there's thousands of employees at different locations? It's because their systems are so dialed to the point that like the employee comes in and he just has to do 20% of the work, and the systems do the extra 80%. So that's the power that we want to do there. And so real quick, I'm going to jump into some of my hiring systems, and then also too how I believe that you can hire some killer guys. So first of all, let me pull it up right here. Got so many tabs open already. So one thing
I was going to jump in really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, Vincent. I was just going to say, so share that, and I'll share something too that I wanted to bounce off that. I was just going to mention, just so everyone has the opportunity to not only give their introduction, let's kind of set a time limit. I would say about 5 to 10 minutes per person to introduce yourselves. And I think just so everyone has the opportunity to kind of get an answer to their question, is go over what your number one constraint or bottleneck of the business is. Whether, hey, I'm getting shitty unqualified leads. Hey, my team isn't structured. Hey, my systems are messed up. Whatever the case may be, something I can answer, Vince can answer, both of us can, just so everyone has the opportunity to kind of go over their stuff. Yeah, go for it, Vincent.
Yeah, it's perfect. So once I'm done helping you out, Mike, then we'll go to the next person. We'll keep going from there, because another thing too, Sebastian knows I will just keep on yapping and I won't stop. That's why he stopped me right there, because he knows that I'll just keep on chatting. But so real quick, so I'm sharing my screen right now. One thing that I organize, my whole entire, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My whole entire company is organized on a system called Notion. It's a very common thing. It's been around for quite a while, but I have everything, well, almost everything inside of the business on here. And to take it a quick step further, I have everything on one Google email. So I created a workspace email. It's our info@Caruso's Auto email, and everything is organized in this one email. Obviously, everything's organized up here in the bookmarks tab. We got our social media, our shop. This is what my operations manager, the VA, hops on. Which another thing too as well, Mike, since we're in the topic of hiring, I hired a VA from the Philippines. I pay her about like $40 a day, obviously because their currency is weaker than ours. And essentially what she does is all the back end tasks. You might not be there yet, but essentially what she will do is, anything you're doing on the computer that's taking you time, because at the end of the day, the three things you want to focus on, and you guys probably know a lot of this stuff from Brandon as well, is leaderships, relationships, and revenue. Those are the main three we want to focus on. If we're not focusing on leaderships, relationships, or revenue, then we want to delegate it out. So like, for example, creating a Canva business card. If I ever need any of that stuff done, I'm like, hey, Alethea, can you go create a Canva business card? Hey, Alethea, can you go post on social media? Hey, can you do this, do that? Can you fix something in the Notion? Boom, she'll do that. And that's what she does here. But majority of everything, especially including our hiring processes, are tracked on Notion. So every single one of my employees has a dashboard. So Alethea, my operations manager, the VA, she has her own dashboard. Everything on here for her to complete, and do everything on that end. And now technician wise, obviously, we got the detailing technicians, and then for you, Mike, it would be the window technicians. And essentially everything on here is for them to pretty much have everything for the company. Same with my other lead technician, Bryant, my mobile guy. And then also to my sales rep, which is one of the most important ones, is the sales rep dashboard. She has everything on here to get trained up, all of her SOPs, everything on dashboard, super organized for all of them. And then real quick too as well, everything else is organized on here. But now what I really want to jump into, especially for you, Mike, is we have all those dashboards. Now, the main thing that I want to do with every single one of my employees is when they're onboarded, we need to give them purpose right away. We can't just have people inside of our company just working to work to pay their paycheck. We need to give them a reason for coming into work. So every single time you bring on a new employee, you want to ask them their personal, their financial, and their professional goals. And I will tie that into the dashboard so it's there for them every single day. And what you want to do here is you want to really understand, okay, why are they working? Why are they coming to my company? Because there's got to be a reason. It's at the end of the day, it's most likely just to pay the bills, but there's other stuff on top of it. Maybe someone wants a car. Maybe someone doesn't want to work 24/7. There's a reason for people coming into work, and you want to build their work at your company around their goals. It's going to make them care about the company as if it's yours. And that's just so powerful right there. And then on top of that, we want to give them vision for the company. Hey man, this is a fast growing company. You're here at the beginning, just to let you know, we're going to scale. We're going to hit this revenue mark. We're going to hit this revenue mark. And, if you stay along for the journey and help us grow, I'm telling you, you will be compensated for that. So vision alongside matching their goals. And then on top of that, what you do is every single month, just sit down with every single one of your employees and have an alignment meeting with them. This meeting is just a one-on-one meeting with you and them, asking them, hey, how's everything in the company? Hey, do you have any feedback? Hey, let's break down. Are you reaching X, Y, and Z goals? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Because at the end of the day, all we are as business owners is we're puppet masters, and we control our people, and we have to mentor them and control them. And essentially why I showed you the Notion dashboards is because the Notion dashboards not only help them, they have materials on there to get them trained up. They have, upsell tracker, like a pre-job tracker, everything they have to do, a checklist, all that sort of stuff. But on top of that, I use that dashboard to, kind of help grow them as a person and use it like that. So that's the number one thing that helps, that makes you stand out by a mile. And now one more quick thing that I want to talk about with you too on the topic of hiring is something called ABR. Another thing that Brandon taught me as well too is always be recruiting. And now what I mean by this is, imagine as service-based businesses grow, we have a lot of employees. Imagine if 3 of them leave at once. We could be fucked. Like, we could be completely messed up and done for. The reason how we counteract that is we always have people on the bench to pull in like this. So what I mean by that is here, as you can see in my Notion, what we got down here is our recruitment tracker. So in our recruitment tracker, we have technicians, we have sales reps, and we also have receptionists and VAs. So real quick, obviously the main ones are going to be technicians and sales reps. The other 2 aren't as important, but we still want to always be hiring. So all I essentially do is I have a job listing on an app called Better Team. It'll post you to the top job listing apps. You'll get applications in here. Once we get an application, Alethea, my operations manager, will do the first round of a quick interview. She'll do a quick background check. Hey, did they go to prison? Are they solid? Are this or that? Just then it filters out some people. And then after that, I'll hop on a Zoom with them, with me one-on-one. And then from there, I'll either confirm if they're hired or if they're not. And now if they're hired, then all we have to do is tell them, hey, so we're not hiring as of right now. We're hiring, we're a fast growing company. We're hiring 3 months, 2 months down the line. And that's what I did with all these people. And then once they're hired, and if they, say someone leaves me or say we need to onboard something like that, we bring them in, and then we just do 1 day of a performance evaluation, see how they react inside of our company in a physical environment, because at the end of the day, service-based businesses are in person. You can't really tell everything over Zoom. And then boom, that's how, and you constantly, every single day, I'm not hiring right now. Every single day I'm going, or not every single day, but multiple times per week, I'm going on interviews and we're getting people in here. So we haven't been doing it for that long. It's only been like a month, but over that course of that past month, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that I hired that I'm essentially ready to pull on like this. And all of them are working at jobs that they don't like currently, and they're ready to come to a better job that focuses on them, growing them as a person. And essentially, once we get to that point, they'll just stay at their current job right now. And then once we're ready, we'll bring them on. And then boom, you constantly are doing interviews and hiring inside your company. You just don't onboard them right away. So those are the key things in regards to recruiting, Mike, and then also, lowering that turnover, really giving purpose with your technicians. Now, real quick, any questions, concerns?
I actually have some. I didn't want to cut you off before.
No, you're good.
Some of the reasons that I feel like I am having turnover, other than, whether it's a low quality hire, it's a lot of my guys, it's like, I'm calling you as needed. So like, we may have like 3 days where they're getting like, they're getting a lot of work. And then there's like a day or 2 when it's off. And I think it's the lack of leads, obviously, that's coming in. Thankfully, like, you know, a lot of this home service stuff you can like really charge for. That's what kind of keeps us afloat with having a lower amount of leads. But how am I able to like screen someone and be like, hey, like you might only work like 3 or 4 days this week, not a full, you know, 6-day week or a 5-day week. Because I think that's another reason where some guys are like, oh, like, or that's why I'm getting lower quality guys that are collecting unemployment and just coming when they feel like, you know, or when I need them.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so you want to provide more work for your guys. So I think that well, one, everything with employees is being straight up and right off the bat. So on the interview call, instantly be like, okay, that essentially what you're saying is you're hiring people for quote unquote part time essentially. So that's what I would do is, I mean, if you have one guy work the first half of the week and the second guy work the second half of the week, you have two part-time guys. And essentially you can do that with 2, 3, 4 people. You kind of get what I'm saying there. And now alongside that, obviously our main goal would be the marketing, to get more leads and more. I mean, the fact that you did just start the meta too is really good as well. That means that you were getting all those previous clients just with door knocking.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is inside our company, we need to create a lead generation acquisition system. So all that is it's a marketing way to obtain clients, but it's proven. It's not like it's not like sitting on your knees and praying for a lead to come in. It's like, okay, if I put this amount of money in, I'm gonna get this amount of leads out. And that's essentially what meta ads are. Once you dial in the meta ad process, you know that if you put this amount in, you'll most likely get around this amount out. So that's what we need to do there too. I mean, everything that I'm hearing though is since you just started the meta ads as well too, you're probably fine there. You can also use Google as well. The only ways of marketing that I ever would suggest would be Google, Meta, and wait, there's one more. Yeah, Google, Meta, and SEO essentially. Google and Meta are the main two that I would recommend. SEO is more down the line, you have to worry about it, but anything other than those, and door knocking, because door knocking works really well for your company. But anything other than those ones, I wouldn't even play with. Like as of right now, all being is Google, Meta,
Google LSA.
yeah, LSA, and then I would do Google Ads as well. And essentially, Google LSA is really good. That'll help you get a lot of traction. And then if you run the Google Ads, what Google Ads do is it'll push them to a landing page. What I want you to do is, you have a notepad in front of you?
Yeah, I'm writing down.
Write this down. If you ever run Google Ads, what you want to do is you want to drive them to a landing page. And on that landing page, you want to have something called a VSL, which is a video sales letter. And all you want that VSL to be is a detailed video of you, on a job, like almost like a meta ad, but longer. Hey, it's Mike Toronzo with Toronzo's Brothers, window cleaning, whatever the name of the company is. This is how we do this process. And it should be like a long video going in depth about your company or in depth about a service.
What's that called? VSL? What's that stand for?
Video sales letter.
Video sales letter.
So essentially, that's a video sales letter, and you can make one of those for every single service. You can go in depth with every single service. So example one being window cleaning, you talking in front of the camera while guys are doing it in the background, B-roll, make it nice and edit it. And then when people click on this link for window cleaning, they'll click on the VSL, and then on the landing page, all you want to have is the VSL, and then just a quick like a form to fill out. And that's one way to do that there. But real quick,
I was gonna jump in. And then, Vinny, if you can you press stop sharing just so everyone's thing expands? My bad. Beautiful. Yeah, no, that first of all, sauce. That's good recruitment sauce. So I wanted to jump in specifically on the lead gen side of things. So what I want to clarify is like when it comes to lead generation, I want everyone to understand that there's different points of lead generation for different points of the business. For example, Vincent's already somebody that's doing $40,000 to $50,000 per month. So his lead generation situation might be a little bit different from what you're currently doing now. And the reason why I want to point that out is that just because, for example, somebody's doing $50,000 to $100,000 per month, that does not necessarily mean that that exactly needs to be the process that you need to take as well. It really is just dependent on where you are at in the business. Vincent's somebody who, for example, just got into a shop. His mobile unit and side of the business is really dialed in. He has 2 technicians who he knows are going to work for him for a long, extended period of time. He has good systems. He has an operations manager. He just got a full-time experienced sales representative. So he's somebody who's kind of really delegated and taken himself out of the business. And he also has the capital to now invest in these other channels of the business. So the reason why I wanted to bring that up more specifically is there's this one quote that Alex Hormozi says that I really, really love. And it's one channel, one avatar, one offer until $1 million per year. And the reason why he mentions that is just because of the simplicity of the way that you should structure your business until you're making a lot of money. A lot of people think, for example, man, this guy's doing Meta, this guy's doing Google, this guy's doing LSA, this guy's doing SEO and XYZ. If he's doing it and he's doing X amount, I should also as well. What I want to go ahead and clarify is it, like I mentioned, is really dependent on the way that your business is currently set up. Just because Vincent's doing these things doesn't necessarily mean you should be doing them yet. Clarification on yet. And so, for example, if you're somebody who's at 5K, 10K per month right now, you should really just be focusing on one thing at a time. For example, if you were a detailing business that's currently doing anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 per month, or just home service business like you, Mike, we should really be focusing on is, for example, when I say one offer, that means really dialing in 1 to 2 services that you're known and best at. So I would hope a majority of people here, and for example, the way that Vincent really kind of brands himself right now is an expert in ceramic coating. For you, Mike, that might be expert in home service cleaning, more specifically window cleaning, right? That's your primary service that people come to you for, or holiday lights in the winter. And so be an expert in a specific service. That's your offer, right? Your one avatar. You really need to sit down, and these are things that we're actually kind of implementing here with all clients at LEADFUSE as well, is your specific ICP. What is ICP? Your ideal client profile. And what I mean by that is everyone here has, when it comes to the sales process, and Mohammed, we've talked about this in the past before, people who've come on the phone with you for Meta ads or anywhere in general. And like, there's always that one type of person, maybe it might not be a lot of them, but there's this one type of person who always says yes whenever you pitch the price. Like, oh yeah, it's this, it's going to cost this, right? Boom, done. They don't ask questions. There's no objections. They want it. Sure, that might not be a large sum of people or the percentage of people that you might want, but there is that type of person. That is what I like to call your ICP. Usually that consists of 10% of people who are on your pipeline. 10% of people will always say yes. 10% of people will always say no. 80% of people will say maybe, and you need to help make the decision for them. And so that yes group, that 10%, is your ICP. A lot of the times, and for everyone here, that likely is going to be people who, for example, have a car that's maybe 2020 or newer. Maybe have a vehicle that's at value of over $75,000. Maybe that's people who are professionals, who are also entrepreneurs, who value their time and want somebody who's more expertise in a specific service for them to come out and do it because they understand the value of the service that you're doing. That is your ICP. And so what you need to really dial in your head is who specifically am I talking to are more of the people that I want to talk to more often. So maybe, for example, your specific ICP is somebody who's a professional. Maybe that professional makes over $250,000 per year. They have a vehicle that's over 2020 and newer. Their vehicle is worth over $75,000. There's somebody who doesn't have that much time. They're working a lot, or they have a business that tends to take a lot of their time up. So that's your ICP. So that's your avatar. We've gone over one offer, one avatar, and finally one channel. What does one channel mean? Well, there's 4 ways to get clients, right? There's paid advertising, there's warm outreach, there's cold outreach, and there's organic content. Right now, a lot of you guys, for example, are doing paid advertising. I would switch it a little bit, and I would kind of do a channel and a half. What I think, in my personal opinion, what you should be focusing on up until where you're kind of at where Vincent's at is paid advertising and organic content. And so what that looks like, for example, is having a good funnel of paid ads and having a good funnel of organic content. And why is that important? Well, to me, in my opinion, I think Meta is a great place. And the reason why that's primarily what we offer as an agency in terms of our service is a great platform to advertise on. Because as I've always told everyone here, it's a platform that we can almost force the specific service that we want to push out and have people see that so that we can get people who are interested in that specific service. Google's great. I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work. Vincent's obviously somebody who's already kind of dabbling in that and who we're helping with. But more specifically, the reason why Meta is so good in the beginning, upwards until you get to that point of 50 plus K per month, is because we can kind of control the market in terms of what we want people to see. And that really is just dependent on the type of ads that we're running. So more specifically, when you're kind of at like 5, 10, 15, $20,000 per month, a lot of the ads that you should be running, that we're obviously running for a lot of people here, is more specifically ads that are offer based. Hey, 50% off this. Hey, buy one, get one free. Hey, this plus get this for free. Scarcity and urgency. But when it gets to a point where Vincent's at, then we need to change the structure in which we do the ads. Then it becomes a funnel. Well, now the top of the funnel is, well, Vincent's telling me, for example, whenever we speak, hey, dude, leads are great. We're getting a good ROAS, but our conversion's kind of low. Is there anything that we can do to increase the quality of the lead? Well, we need to really break it down into more simple terms. Why are leads unqualified? Well, they're uneducated. They don't understand the value of the service when I hop on the phone with them. It takes me longer, for example, to nurture that person. And so what I want to label here is that's called the sales cycle. Everyone here gets leads, whether you, for example, sell them day one in which you call them or maybe 6 months from now, right? there is a sales cycle. For some people, that's 1 week. They see your stuff, they like it, they immediately buy. For some people, it's 6 months. It takes them for them to follow your account, see the content you post, see more ads, see other people utilizing the service, and then finally deciding to buy on month 6. Our goal and everyone's goal here should be to decrease that sales cycle. How can we get somebody to see our stuff today and want to buy it tomorrow for a majority and all of our clients? And the way that we're going to be able to do that is through value-based educational content, both through the channel of paid advertising and organic content. So a lot of people here, for example, I don't think are taking the necessary time to post on Instagram. And a lot of people might think, well, I'm not seeing the value of it now. I maybe not getting the lead flow I want or expect of it now. You got to realize you have to really put yourself in the shoes of a consumer. What do they do whenever they submit the form on Meta? What are they doing in terms of their research to make sure that you are credible enough to perform X service on their vehicle or home, right? They're going to your Instagram page. They're looking you up on Google. So it's like, you need to make sure that your Instagram page looks proficient enough for them to believe that you can accomplish the service that they want. And so like, it really comes down to what is that as a definition? What is the likelihood of success that you can do what they expect you to? What is the dream outcome? What are you promising that you can do for them? And what's the time delay? How long is it going to take? Can I get it done tomorrow or can I get it done next month? Because me personally, as somebody that, for example, I'll use this as an example, right? I have a company that comes and picks up my laundry. Like truly, I work all the time. I work 8, 12 hours, 6 days per week. Like even on Sunday, I'm working. I had church in the morning and I went straight to work. And so I truly value my time. I know what my hour's worth. It's not even worth for me to do my own laundry. So every 2 weeks, I have a company come, they pick up my laundry, they wash, they dry, they fold it, and they drop it off. They have it on hangers, they have it all pressed, nice and neat. And so think of it like this in terms of one of those factors of time delay is like if I had a company that said, oh, we can only come, every month, or we don't have the opportunity, our schedule's full, on to the next company. I don't care that it's going to take a month, even if you're the best, I want it done now. And so it's like you have to make sure that when you're targeting your ICP, which are people who, for example, are professionals, entrepreneurs, people who value their time, you need to have the availability and capacity. And I know that might not mean, well, Sebastian, I can't buy a new unit tomorrow and hire 3 people. Well, just make sure, simply put, if you want to open up your capacity, open up the amount of days that you work per week, open up the amount of slots that are available per day. You're only working 8 hours per day, make that 12. Boom, you opened up your capacity, you can fill in one more job. So capacity is really, really important. And so what I'm kind of trying to break down and really make a point is in terms of the qualification of lead and the specific channels that we're trying to target, paid ads, organic content, super important. And that all guys, and we're currently making kind of a playbook for branding. And more specifically, when I say branding, I mean the organic side of things. From everything from as little of a detail as your profile picture on your business account, from the name, from the bio, from the highlights, right? Having a highlights where people who share your content and tag you as a business, boom, you have a highlight for that. Where you can show screenshots of Google reviews, boom, a story highlight for that. Where you show behind the scenes, day in the life, actually doing ceramic coatings day to day. All of that's important. And then from there, your pin post. In my opinion, your top 3 pin posts, it should be 3 things. It should be my story. Hey, my name is Mohammed. My name's Pablo. My name's Luis. My name's Emmett. Whatever the case may be, I'm the founder of X company, and this is why I started it. Boom. That's a story. That's a pinned reel. Next pinned reel, social proof and case study. Hey, these are all the people that we've serviced and all the good things they have to say. Maybe 3 clips of you dressed nicely at somebody's home or in your shop, shaking their hand, looking them in the eyes. Hey, here today we're with John. We just did his McLaren 720S. John, how is the process of the ceramic coating that we went ahead and performed on our vehicle today? Boom. Full video of a case study testimonial pinned. And then finally, I think the third pinned should finally be education. So it should be, for example, a description of the service that you go ahead and primarily do. That's when we go back to the one offer. So your 3 pin post, in my opinion, every single time somebody comes across your Instagram account, and trust me when I say it might not sound as important, trust me, next time you see an ad on something that you genuinely filled out a form for or that you liked, you will catch yourself, even if you don't realize it now. You go through the Instagram account, you check out the link in the bio, you look at their bio, you look at their profile picture, you look at their name, you look at their content. What if I, as a consumer, and I had a Mercedes, brand new, super nice, right? My dream car right now is my dream car is a Ferrari F8. That's my dream car. Let's say I had that. I value my time. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a professional. I see a nice, super beautiful ad. I'm like, oh my gosh, 50% off ceramic coating this week, only 10 spots left. Very well edited, good quality camera. The owner's dressed really nice in a polo and slacks and nice shoes. They're doing a McLaren in the background. I see the ad. I go to the Instagram account. There's 50 followers. It's not verified. The bio's all over the place. There's no story highlights. They have 2 posts, and it looks like they just started yesterday. Sure, I maybe submitted a quote for them, but am I really going to even pick up the phone when they call me? Probably not. So like it really ties down to, especially I would assume everyone here has two goals, right? It's either scale to exit. Your goal is either in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now to sell your company for millions of dollars, or scale to delegate, meaning one day you don't have to do anything within the business and it's passively bringing you income that you can then invest in other streams. And so if you want that to be the case, regardless of whether one or the other is your goal, you need to brand yourself efficiently, which is why I place one of the channels and say channel and a half as also being organic content. People need to come across your page and feel a specific way. They need to understand your story, which is why I say one of the pinned reels should be my story. They should understand and be educated on your service, which is why one of your reels should be a description of, hey, my name is blank, I'm the owner of blank, and this is the step-by-step process that we do here at blank to do a ceramic coating on vehicles. Boom, they're educated on the service. And finally, the third pinned reel, in my opinion, should be case study, social proof, and credibility. So now what does that do for me? I'm tied to the founder. I like the business not just for the service that they offer and the value it brings, but I have a specific connection to the person that owns it. Next, I have education on the service. I'm not going in blindly when I submit a form. I understand the step-by-step process. I understand the value. I know the time it takes to go ahead and actually perform the service. And finally, a case study, testimonial, social proof. I see other people actually use the service, like it, and are seeing benefits from it. So that increases the likelihood of success. If other people are getting good results, I likely will get a good result as well, especially if they're also doing luxury vehicles, have 100 plus 5-star reviews on Google. That's why credibility is so important. Alex Ramosi said, regardless of my audience, he says, if I go to a presentation and I don't say a word full of a stadium of 500 people, and I put up on my presentation board 100 screenshots of testimonials, and I don't even say anything, I just have my clicker and I just go like this, click, 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 click. He says, I guarantee you I'll convert 3 to 5% of that audience on whatever I'm selling. That is the power of social proof. The layers of which it is, like truly, I want everyone here, and all of this is kind of tying down to social proof as well, is think of it as kind of like an onion. The top layer is what you say as a business owner. The middle layer is what others people say about your business. And the final layer is the actual experience that customer has. I can sit here and say, LEADFUSE is awesome. It's great. It's super cool. Awesome. Beautiful. Everyone join. Come use our service. But then what happens if I say that and then Vincent says that, or somebody else says that, or somebody shares this on their story, or we have a good result and we screenshot it and post it on our Instagram? Well, it's like, sweet, awesome. Sebastian said it. People utilizing the service said it. I come in and I experience it. Boom, 100% satisfaction. And so that's what you want people to experience when they visit your page, or they see your content, or they see a paid ad, or what they're funneled into. So like, and the whole point I'm trying to get across as well is, like I said, one avatar, one channel, one offer, but also truly, this is kind of like a little mini masterclass, I guess you could say, on buyer psychology. There's subconscious thoughts that people have whenever they see your Instagram, whenever they see an ad, so on and so forth. So all very, very important points. My bad, I just went off tangent, but I hope that made sense. Beautiful. And yeah, Vincent is doing a great job right here, kind of showing his stuff. Like, look at his stuff. So we went ahead and changed his bio. So we can see here, for example, stay at the top, Vincent. We see, for example, the name. Boom, Caruso's Auto Boutique. I don't know if you previously knew, but his Instagram username was Caruso's Mobile Detailing, if I'm not wrong. Sure, it might be a hassle to change the name, but just the name switch immediately changes the perceived value of the company. He's not just mobile anymore. Mobile is now a subdivision of what his primary offer is, which is, hey, come to the shop. And by all means, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that mobile is way cooler than sure, it's more convenient, but it's like whenever you have a shop, people are going to take you more seriously, I'd say. So that's why I think everyone's goal here should definitely be get into a shop. So he changes the name, Caruso's Auto Boutique, luxury name. He's verified. Trust me when I say it's a very small detail. It costs $14 per month. I think it's very worth it just for that little extra inch of boost of credibility. And then from there, what do we see? 171 posts. Even if it's not necessarily the exact content that we want to go ahead and move forward with now, just 171 posts alone, it's showing, hey, this business has been in business for a really long time and they want to showcase a lot of the stuff that they're showing us. Then from there, we see 1,300 followers. That in itself, just the follower count alone, is going to show more credibility. Oh, this business has been in business for a little bit. They have followers. People understand the service. They've seen the ad, so on and so forth, versus maybe say 100, right? That definitely is going to make a difference. Then from there, we see auto detailing service as the actual tag of the business. Then look at the bio, right? Immediately, social proof. 5 stars, over 185 plus 5-star reviews. Just from that alone, it's like I'm not saying lie. Don't lie. Actually put your real amount of reviews there. But I'm saying just from that alone, like people are going to stop themselves from visiting Google My Business, or they're just going to believe that right then and there. Like it's social proof. Everything else already looks legit. They're going to believe that. So 185 plus 5-star reviews. Hey, boom, we're targeting ICP, more specifically the area in which we target, Northern Jersey, New Jersey. Then from there, the way in which Vincent wants to present himself in the eyes of the consumer. We're certified coding experts. We're not certified detailers. We're not certified mobile detailers. We're not certified tinters. We're certified coding experts. There's two key words here: certified, so you're legit; experts, we have experience. We know what we're doing. We can do it better than what you could do by yourself at home. Trusted by luxury car owners, tightening our ICP. We're not trusted by car owners. We're not trusted by Tesla drivers. We're trusted by luxury car owners. And sure, Vincent can attest, a majority of people that come in are not luxury car owners. It's Hondas, it's older vehicles, whatever the case may be. But he's increasing the amount of luxury car owners coming in by labeling himself that way. And then finally, CTA, book or call or book online, quick and easy. Go straight to the website, visit it, go ahead and book through your able, or call and submit a quote form. And so like truly, like as simple as a detail like that, so important. And then boom, like we talked about, what's one of the pinned posts right here? It's a testimonial. It's showing social proof. What's the first interaction that somebody has with the Instagram account after already submitting a quote form? It's social proof. Oh, this guy has a nice car. Vincent's showing his employees working in their nice uniforms. He's saying good stuff about the business. It's going to increase the likelihood of success working with that company. Truly, I want everyone to subconsciously and just consciously think, like, if you were a consumer that saw Vincent's ad, and not only was it a good ad with a good offer, and you submitted a quote form and you saw his Instagram, I guarantee you all of you here feel comfortable giving your car to Vincent. And that's not even knowing what the actual service is like. That's just by viewing the social media and organic content. Everything from a verified account, everything from the follower account, everything from the amount of posts posted, everything from the bio, the highlights, and the posts themselves. That's what creates, what, in my opinion, a brand. That's going to increase the likelihood of success of people wanting to work with you. And then one other point I just wanted to go and quickly go over before we jump into any other questions is what Vincent was talking about. I'm going to quickly share my screen here, Vincent. Is everything what Vincent talked about super sauce, super good. What I want everyone to also take into account that's very, very, very important is also understanding you as a business owner, along with what you teach and give to your actual technicians, employees as well, is your mission and vision. Like, why are you making this business? Sure, we're all here to make money. We're all here to either scale to exit for millions of dollars in the future, or we're either here to scale to delegate so we have passive income coming in from a business source. But I want everyone to truly take the time to understand, what are you truly doing this business for? Because if you're only in it for the money, I guarantee you your results in terms of fulfillment are going to fade. I promise you your team is going to churn drastically, even if people are here and they're here for good pay. You need to truly come up, in my opinion, with a mission and vision SOP. So that's what we have here at LEADFUSE, which I go over with my team every single month, which is our mission and vision. And I go over this because it's important to not only incentivize your team through, good pay and bonuses and commissions, whatever the case may be, but making sure that there's culture. What's the definition of culture? A combined set of beliefs. If everyone is here for the same beliefs and here for the same goal, people are going to work more proficiently and are going to want to stay longer. So mission and vision, what we have here, I go over this every single month with our team, every month, every quarter. Step one, understand the mission. For us, for example, LEADFUSE exists to become the #1 lead generation marketing agency for B2C local service-based businesses in the United States. I have that memorized. I don't even need to pull that up to say that. I say that almost every single call with my team. And then from there, how are we going to do that? We're going to do that through 10 out of 10 customer service, responsive, professional, and proactive support that clients rave about, and 10 out of 10 work quality, campaigns that generate ROI, impress visually, and scale client businesses. This mission is not about vanity metrics. It's about changing the trajectory of the businesses we serve. Align with the vision. What are our goals in the next 3 to 5 years? LEADFUSE, we want to expand across multiple service-based industries. We want to build a larger, high-performance team that maintains elite execution, maintain simplicity in our business model, be recognized as the gold standard in transparency, performance, and customer service. And we even have, for example, like our own little motto, the FUSE framework: freedom, utility, systemization, and excellence. Freedom, we give clients their time back and help them regain control of their growth. Utility, every system, dashboard, campaign must create real-world business value. Systemization, we build repeatable, scalable systems for predictable results. And then excellence, every output reflects our obsession with elite performance. So it's like, I'm not saying this is the utmost important thing you need to work on. Obviously, having the always be recruiting metric in your business, obviously making sure that your team is well incentivized and they have bonuses and things that are actually going to get them to stay, having good systems to train them fast enough for them to go out on their own. But also, what I really want to clarify is the culture of your team. Why else are they here? Because my team, I'll tell you, is not just here for a paycheck because we pay them well. They're also here because they understand the mission and the vision. Our mission is to become the #1 lead generation marketing agency in the United States for local B2C service-based businesses. And how are we going to do that? I have it memorized: 10 out of 10 customer service, 10 out of 10 workmanship. And so you need to craft that for yourself. So if you want to steal it, steal it. I think it's a really good metric to base it off of. That's simply put, how are you going to become the best business in your area? We're going to offer 10 out of 10 customer service. We're going to respond fast, sell well, make sure that people are happy, and 10 out of 10 workmanship. People are going to feel really satisfied once we finalize service. And so I'll end it at that. Vincent, if you want to go off that, or if anyone wants to chime in more specifically with any constraints, bottlenecks, or anything you want to go over specifically for the business, go for it.
I got time. While you were when it comes to answering leads.
Yeah.
While you were talking, I just had one come through. What's the latest I should be, picking up the phone and answer? Because I'm eager to call them right now, but I got the text with the business hours and
super good question. And this is definitely something that we're also working on. We're making a closing handbook right now for everybody here. Right now I'm on page 30. It's going to be really long. It's going to include video modules for everyone. So what I want everyone here to really understand when it comes to speed to lead, that's one of 4 main key metrics. So think of this kind of variable as lead nurturing. That's the way I like to label it. Mm-hmm. Lead nurturing as a definition is everything that happens after somebody expresses interest, quote unquote, submits a quote form, and before they actually get sold. And so what you're mentioning is what I like to call the speed metric. That's one of the 4. Speed, in my opinion, is one of the most important. I've told this to many people. I'm going to say it again, even if I'm very repetitive. There's a study conducted by Harvard. They did 100,000 sales calls. And pretty much what they were able to conclude here, I'm going to admit somebody into this really quick. What they were able to conclude was that over that 100,000 sales calls where they had inbound leads, they saw a 391% increase in rate of conversion for businesses that answered or called leads within 60 seconds of them coming in. What did that kind of result in terms of a conclusion? The faster you can get back to a lead, the faster you're likely going to get a conversation to spark and they answer, the more likely you're actually going to convert and get more sales. And so if you simply want to 4x the amount of money you're making, call every single lead within 60 seconds. And I know that almost sounds impossible, and that's exactly why it works. And so if that means, for example, like I mentioned, for a lot of businesses, delegate the labor, you do all the sales, and eventually delegate the sales. That's what Vincent did. Yeah. He delegated the labor, got 2 technicians, got them on the field. He stayed at home every day. There'd be times where he texted us in the chat, I'm so sick and tired of doing all these calls, but guess what? He stuck through. Now he grew his business, and now he's a sales representative to do that for him. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the 4 key metrics, speed to lead. If you can increase the time from when they come in, or decrease the time, from when they come in to when you actually call, you're going to increase your conversion. Number 2 is volume. In my opinion, you guys should be doing blocks. Let me define what a block is. Whenever I say call a lead, that doesn't just mean call, hang up, right? A block is what you should do. You should do 5 of these within 48 hours if you want to increase conversation, increase conversion. One block as a definition is this. You call, they don't answer. You immediately redial, call again. They don't answer. Leave a voicemail, leave a text. You should do 5 of those within 48 hours. So one block, like I mentioned, if a lead comes in right now, call, no answer, call again, voicemail, leave a text. That is my definition as a block. Sorry, Michael, were you raising your hand?
Yeah. So you're calling twice every single time?
Every single time.
Yeah. Oh, bro, that shit helps so much because one, it'll push through D&D. The amount of times I have. First time they didn't answer, and then I called the second time. Remember, sometimes I used to call 4 times in a row.
Shit, it wasn't going.
Yeah, that's exactly. For not just for D&D purposes, but just people who usually call twice, it's like, oh, do I know this person? Let me answer. And so that's why that works. And then just volume overall. That's the second metric. So speed and then volume as well. Volume, not in the sense of Sebastian, I called 5 times. Well, in what time frame? 2 weeks. Nope. Let's minimize that into 2 days. And so that's 2 out of the 4 variables of kind of lead nurturing. Sorry, Vincent, were you going to say something?
Oh, no, I was going to say the fact of you're going to pop up as a random number. So when you pop up as a random number, someone sees it, they just put it to the side. And then all of a sudden you're calling again and they're like, wait, this might be important than the answer. So that's what happens there. But another question too, is you're asking if it's too late, because I obviously understand what you're getting is people are, they're going to bed, they may be putting their kids to bed, it's late, they don't want to be bothered. I have sold $1,000 plus jobs at 9 p.m. at night. It's happened multiple times. So if you're eager and you feel it in your gut, just call them. I've done it before.
Right now.
Yeah.
Literally. One came through last night. I tried connecting in the morning and they shouldn't answer.
Yeah, I mean, worst comes to worst, they might text you, be like, hey, please don't call me. Can you call me tomorrow? And you call them tomorrow. So, I mean, that's what I still call late at night. Because the thing is, if the lead came in late at night, then they're on their phone, so.
Yeah. And then from there, just to kind of quickly go over the other two. So first one, like I mentioned, if anyone wants to write this down, these are really important. Like literally on the sales side of things, not marketing specifically. If you want to increase kind of likelihood of success and conversion here, number one, speed the lead, how fast you get to leads. Number two, volume, how many times you're contacting leads within a specific short time frame. Thirdly is availability, how available you are. For example, one business doing the same budget, getting same lead flow, same results, that's open 24/7. And obviously, that's just kind of an extreme variable, but 24/7 in comparison to a business that's maybe open 8 hours per day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that business that's open 24/7 obviously is going to make more money. And a lot of people, like as simple as that might sound, don't understand that. So if you simply put want to also increase conversion, if you have more availability, it drastically also will increase the amount of available slots, thus for people to then get booked in. And then finally, variable number 4 is personalization. How well are the actual text and conversations that you're having with your leads? More specifically, that looks like not just reading a script, reading questions, being a robot, right? Because I think a lot of people take their sales calls and think, let me just educate this person, let me tell them what the price is, and hopefully they get on the calendar. You need to truly think of yourself as a therapist. You are a doctor. You need to ask questions. You need to introduce yourself. You need to make a joke. You need to laugh. You need to mess around with this person, right? You're a real person. As soon as that sales wall is finally down and they see you as a friend and you trying to service them to their benefit, they're going to be more likely to purchase your service because you're being a real human being. And so what that looks like is like I've said, hey Vincent, Sebastian, how you doing, brother? This is Sebastian with First Class Mobile Detail. Just give me a quick call. Just so you put in the form. How's your day going so far? Oh, awesome, dude. You got an M4? Dude, man, if I was driving that thing if I had that car, I'd be driving that thing every day. So like stuff like that, small comments like that, those are the things that are going to people think like, oh man, this guy's cool. Like if people like you, people are gonna buy your stuff. And I guarantee you a lot of the times if you switch kind of your conversation, tone, questions, so on and so forth within your sales calls, like it's drastically going to increase your conversion. So just to kind of quickly go over things once more. Number one, speed the lead. How fast do I get to my leads? Number two, volume. Or specifically, how many blocks am I doing within a specific set of time? Once more, what is a block? A block equals I call, they don't answer, I call again, I leave a voicemail, I leave a text. You should do 5 of those within 48 hours of the lead coming in. Number 3, availability. How available am I? Are people having to wait a month for my service, or can they get booked in tomorrow? And then finally, number 4, personalization. How personal are the texts am I sending, and how personal are the calls that I'm having? The more personalized you are and the more human you are, the more likely people are going to purchase your stuff because they like you and they understand you're actually trying to help them. But yeah, that's basically what I like to call lead nurturing. It's everything between lead gen and sales. But yeah, before we go over any other things, does anyone want to chime in, go over any current bottlenecks, constraints? It can be anything. It can be marketing, acquisition, lead gen, lead nurturing, sales, closing, recruitment, fulfillment, operations, anything at all, like any topic that me or Vincent
Yes,
can help answer.
Sebastian.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah. So everything is good. I'm agree with everything. But what about when the leads start to getting slower?
Yes. So
what we're gonna do? And winter is coming. It's gonna be more cost constantly. And then what's the solution for this?
yes. So whenever lead flow slows down, so the variables that we need to go ahead and take into account whenever we see lead flow come down is a multitude of things. Number one, what has been the time in which we've increased ad spend? So has it been a little bit since we've increased? And if that's the case, then let's increase. Are we getting less leads with the same amount of ad spend that we're doing because our cost per lead is increasing? Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Let's implement new creatives or change offer or implement a new structure of a funnel.
Okay.
But simply put, I mean, the most simple way to answer that, lead flow slows down. Awesome. We need to check out, hey, is cost per lead increasing? Is maybe just lead flow slowing down because maybe we've decreased ad spend or haven't increased in a while? If cost per lead is in the same range, then that's an appropriate indicator to just increase ad spend. If it's increasing, that's going to tell us. So what I want everyone to go ahead and keep in mind as well, and this is a good answer for you as well, Omer, is think of it like this. Every campaign, every set of creative, it has a lifespan. It has its start date and it has its death, quote unquote. And the more that we spend, the closer that we get to its death, right? And this is what I like to kind of call creative fatigue. And so the more we spend, the faster we get to that death or that fatigue. And so what we do to go ahead and incorporate and make sure that we're getting the lead flow that we want is appropriately adjusting and increasing ad spend. So if we're seeing good ROAS on a week-to-week basis, increase ad spend on a week-to-week basis, even if it's just by 10, 15, 20% increase by 5, 10, 15, $20 on a consistent basis, that's going to give us more lead flow. And then number two, if we're beginning to see that lifespan of that creative decrease, well, we need to go ahead and see, hey, Is it the creative itself? Meaning, for example, or is the frequency high? Is this a creative that people have seen multiple times? Is this maybe the offer that's been juiced for far too long that people consistently keep seeing?
Yeah.
Or also what we talked about right before you joined in, Omer,
Mhm.
was making sure that people are educated before, for example, they enter in on the actual offer of a creative. And so what I mean by that is not just crafting creatives that are offer based, like, hey, 50% off, hey, buy one, get one free, hey, this and that. Because
Yeah.
then we're just getting people, for example, that are solely coming in for the offer. We don't want that, right? That's good, for example, for businesses that are maybe at 5, 10K per month and quickly just want lead flow to go ahead and get people on the calendar. But on a longer period of time, if you begin to create a brand and more education and more value for the leads, it's going to, number one, decrease your cost per lead drastically because people are going to see you as a legitimate branded business. And number two, going to go ahead and create campaigns that can last a longer lifespan. The way that specifically that we're going to do that is, number one, running ads that are educational based. That doesn't mean, hey, this is a video, we're going to go ahead and press get offer, you submit a quote. No, simply education. And we channel them to the Instagram page. And then from there, we post more organic content through credibility, social proof, organic content that shows the actual education side of the service. And then from there, awesome, sweet. Now we can create a new ad set. What does that ad set do? Well, the people that interacted or followed or liked or watched that video on the education side for a long period of time, we can then channel them to case studies, testimonials, and social proof. Then we run ads, for example, on people saying good stuff about your business. Maybe, for example, you have a video of with a client and they're saying, hey, my name's John. Omer just went ahead and did my McLaren 720S. Amazing service, super responsive, beautiful fulfillment. I liked everything that had to do with this company. I definitely recommend. Boom. All the people that watch the educational content then get funneled into the case study, testimonial, social proof content. Then what happens there? People that interact with that, we then funnel them down deeper. Now they see the offer-based stuff. And so when they see, oh, sweet, awesome, I followed this Instagram account. I understand the value of the service and I saw a step-by-step process. I see other people are receiving good value off the service based on the case studies and testimonials. Now I see a good offer that only lasts this month, has an X amount of spots in terms of scarcity, and it's a good offer overall. Sweet. Now I can submit the lead. So what does that do? Sure, maybe that either increases cost per lead because maybe we have a smaller group of people that it is. Maybe that decreases because we have more well-branded people. But overall, in terms of the entirety of it all, it's going to give us more qualified people that enters our sales pipeline, and that decreases the sales cycle, the amount of time it takes them to get sold because they're more educated. Their increased likelihood of success is high because they see other people reaping the benefit of your service, and now they're here for the offer that is at the bottom of the funnel. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. We already did most of it, what you say, but just probably we need to talk with you about my
Yeah.
last week reports as soon as possible. I try to contact you, but probably you are busy because we
Mike.
did all of them. I talked with your team, but some things needs to be changed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I need you. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I sent you a voice note, I think like an hour-ish ago. Let me know a time, or I'll send you my calendar for this week or tomorrow, whenever the soonest is, and we can
Yeah, I already
get on a
sent a couple
strategy call.
messages in the Slack. Just when you have time, let me know.
Yeah, 100%. I got you, Omer. Thanks for hopping in. And
Yeah.
if you want to stay, stay. If you need to leave, no worries.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Sweet. Awesome. And then, yeah, for everyone else that kind of listen on that, that is basically the funnel in which we need to go ahead and attack on when it comes to creating a brand, posting organic content, and all of kind of the steps it takes to make sure that we're getting more of a kind of qualified bunch of people in terms of the sales pipeline. Michael, good stuff. Amazing. Was it for holiday lights or what was it for?
Yeah, holiday lights. The guy was from my town. He was like, all right, whatever price you give me, I'm going with you.
That is what I like to call that's a 10% bucket.
Yeah.
That's that yes people. That's our ICP. It's people that can afford it, that don't care about the price. They just want it done.
Yeah.
Good stuff. How much did you sell it for?
Well, I told him it's starting at 750, so it's
Nice.
about the same. Yeah.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Awesome. Sweet. Anyone else? Anyone that has questions on anything, bottlenecks, constraints on anything? Go for it.
Yeah, I had a question for Vincent. So for ceramic coating leads, after you call them and talk to them and try to book them in and they're just still not sure and they need some time to think about it, what's kind of like your follow-up on that? Like, do you send them anything to nurture them, or do you just call them back, or what do you kind of do?
So, to be honest with you, as of right now, and I want to work, this is something I want to work with Sebastian too as well. Another great thing why me and Sebastian work really well together is because he obviously owns LEADFUSE, a marketing agency, and I'm the one that use it. So me and him are able to bounce back everything back and forth to make LEADFUSE a better service and increase all that sort of stuff. So one thing that we will also want to go over is obviously, there's a pipeline. There's the There's the fresh leads, there's the get back to, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a thinking on it and holding and nurturing. One thing I want to have in thinking on it that I want to talk more to Sebastian about is I want to have videos and stuff like that, warm up them and nurture them. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing. That's one thing that Brandon does, and it's very good. Another thing too as well is like Sebastian said with the Instagram, when we have those leads that came in, and they're thinking on it, they're not only in our thinking on it tab, and obviously, I don't do it as of right now, but I'm going to in the future, and I want to get it implemented ASAP. Obviously, it just takes time to get everything I have a million things I want to do inside my business. It takes time to implement all of them. But we have that. Not only do we have that stuff that gets sent to them, but to go back, what I wanted to talk to as well is if they did come into our pipeline and they're thinking on it, they're probably going to see our ads again, and they're probably going to run across our Instagram again. So another thing I do as well is I have my operations manager, and I did this myself before I had my operations manager, but we're posting stories every single day. Like, you guys probably see it every single. It's not me, because that's a low leverage tactic. It's not worth my time as of right now. But for you guys, right now, it probably is where you guys are at in business. But for this, it's like we post every single day. We're top of mind here. So if we do send them text and thinking on it, they're getting SMS text. They're seeing our ads again. They're seeing our Instagram. If they followed our Instagram, all these followers are from the ads. So the ads will increase your followers, especially the more ad spend you spend. And like we were talking before, to simple it down from what Sebastian says is just have a good Instagram. Like, make your Instagram look nice. And alongside that, because Instagram and Facebook are combined into one thing, such as Meta, make sure that they're connected. So when you post on Instagram, it posts on Facebook as well, because obviously Meta ads, they run to Instagram and Facebook. So this, what you're seeing right here, is on my Facebook as well. And also my Facebook is verified too. I spent a little bit extra money on it. I don't really care. Like Sebastian said, it's worth it. And now look at my content. One thing that I want to help you guys out with real quick is content's a very hard game. I've been in content for quite a while now. I understand it's very hard, especially when you're a business owner, you have other things to do. It takes a lot of time. So what you do is make it simple, but make it effective. Now, guys, look at all these videos. So simple. No editing, just stick and shoot. But you can still, even though it's stick and shoot content or point and shoot content, it's good quality. We got the polos on, we got the van in the background, we got the nice soap on the car. It's high quality, but these are so easy to post, guys. I have my iPhone 16. This was done with a professional camera, but still, like, we have my iPhone 16. I take these quick B-roll clips, I lower the exposure, and boom, we have a video that literally took me 3 seconds to shoot, and it'll take you 2 seconds to post, and then boom, you just put it on there. And it's not edited, it's nothing crazy, but it still feels like okay, this is what I'm gonna receive. Someone's gonna come to my house in my driveway with a professional polo on with my car and stuff. Boom, they're seeing everything they need to from this basic content. And the more basic your content is, the more you can get up here. So on top of that, Mohammed, make sure you're posting constant stories, all that sort of stuff, following up. And you do want to have stuff sent out. Me and Sebastian are going to talk about that. We'll make sure that stuff gets sent out and thinking on it and all that sort of stuff when people do get moved accordingly. But also too, it's another thing as well, depending on. Now, Mohammed, there's one of two things. You'll either get someone who is like, okay, I'm thinking on it, and you'll be able to gauge, what I'm talking about. If they're really thinking on it and they want to, maybe get in 1 to 2 weeks, and then there's a person that's thinking on it, they might not get it for, a couple months. So depending on that, it's obviously depending on if you move them to thinking on it or if you move them to get back to. If there's someone that actually sounds like they're on the fence and sounds like they actually want to buy, then, schedule a callback for them. Put them into the get back to tab, and then when you're going through your get back to that day, take a look at their notes. Another thing is make sure you're leaving notes on every single one of your clients inside of the LF platform. That's one thing that Caitlin does, my sales rep, and then what Caitlin also has here as well. You guys can see my screen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then.
Is Vincent lagging for you guys too?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell him when he's done lagging. Vincent, if you can hear us, you're frozen right now. So if you want to refresh, you can refresh. And if he doesn't pop in, I had a topic to go off that. All right, I'll do say what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say as well. So until Vincent comes back, I wanted to express the. Yep, he came on a new account. Vincent, can you hear us? You're lagging a little bit, I think.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Yes.
my computer. Dashboard. I'm in office here yet or nothing
You're
like
still
that.
lagging a little bit.
Yeah, you guys there? I think my computer froze. Oh, my God. Wait, give me 1 sec, because now my phone's about to die. I have to plug it in my car. But essentially, what I was saying, and if I cut out here, oh wait, my laptop's working now. Great. You guys hear me? See my screen still?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I think my internet just dipped. But you guys can hear me on here now?
Yeah.
I think you're good on your laptop now.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so real quick, what I was talking about. Oh yeah, my shit's at 19%. It's fine. So yeah, so what I was saying is on her dashboard, she has a spot. This is Caitlin's dashboard. She has a callback calendar. So what she'll do is if someone is, thinking on it, but she reads that they're thinking on it, they don't want it done for a while, then she'll just put them in thinking on it. And what I want to do is I want to have nurture text get sent out to them, on a certain periodic time frame. And then what she does is if she moves someone to the get back to tab in LEADFUSE that's really interested on it, then she'll put them on the callback calendar. She'll put them in get back to, and she'll leave a note on them. So she'll do that. So proper follow-ups. And like I said, to the Instagram. But now, Mohammed, the one thing that I really want to talk to you about, bro, is let's go back a step. Let's go back before we're even off the phone with them and they're thinking on it. So the real question is, why are they thinking on it? So imagine if, obviously when people are thinking on it, we want to nurture them. We want to do all that sort of stuff. What if we cancel what if we cancel that step? Because at the end of the day, we don't even want to get to that step. We don't want them to think on it. We want them to buy now.
Yeah.
So what if we can just, prevent more people from getting there? How do we do that? So I have never focused on sales more in my company until this past 2 weeks, because I've been working with my sales rep, and now I've actually, throughout the past year and a half throughout my company, I've always known I was good at sales. I never felt too confident with it though until the past month. And especially the past 2 weeks now, I've been really focusing on it, especially with Caitlin, because as you guys know, when you guys teach something, you learn it even better yourself. Now, real quick, the way that we have Caitlin book people on the schedule now instantly is just simply, it all comes down. I'm going to pull up my sales script, which I've just recently dialed in. And I think it might be one of the best sales scripts.
Is it different than Brandon's?
Yeah, it's very different than Brandon's. I not very different actually. It's similar to Brandon, but it's very basic. So it's obviously a good greeting. They're either interested in a ceramic coating or a detailing route, all that sort of stuff. But the main thing that I want to talk about is everything before closing the call up and objection handling. Everything before this is not sales. It's just talking. It's asking questions. It's figuring out pain points. It's just general breaking down and very simple stuff. I tell my sales girl, don't worry about it. You're only having a conversation here. Just be a pretty girl on the phone. Sound good. Flirt with this customer a little bit and make them, happy. Before that, once they get to hear an objection handling, this is when the sales begins. And when someone answers, there's multiple different objections, but to break it down and make it simpler, there's either a timing, availability, or I need to talk to my wife objection. There is the trust objection, and then there's the price objection. So essentially, real quick, what I want to go over for you guys is you have someone that's thinking on it, Mohammed, okay? Now, the main thing we need to do is why the fuck are you thinking on it? Really, we need to understand that. And that also helps decide if we're going to put them in get back to or thinking on it. So what they say when they're another thing too is one thing I learned from Christopher, what was his name? Chris Dietz, one of the top closer. He sold multiple millions of dollars for some company, whatever. He's a big closer in Miami, all that sort of stuff. He says that after every price you give someone, you offer them to move forward. The advice that he gave me and Caitlin, he was like, yo, Caitlin, whenever you present the price, ask them credit Amex, credit or debit card. But obviously it doesn't make a lot of sense in detailing. Why? Because when he hopped on his closing calls, his main goal is to get payment. Our main goal of our calls is to get booking. So after every single time price is presented, we ask them, hey, what day or time works best for us to take care of the service? Are you more of a weekend person or weekday person? This instantly pushes towards and gives them the option to book. We got to always give them the option to book. If we don't, they might not even book in. So we give them the option to book. And this is where the real sales begins. This is where they're either, they continue to book with you, they book in, or they don't book. If they don't book, then we simply just jump into objection handling. And now the main thing that we're talking about right now, Mohammed, is them thinking on it. We don't want them to be thinking on it But the main thing is we understand why they're thinking on it. Because if we understand why they're thinking on it and we really diagnose our customer, that's when we're able to either one, close them, or at least nurture and follow up better in the future. So one thing that she does is, like Brandon kind of says, is, does everything inside of the package seem good? Is it what you're expecting? And then the main thing is really what Brandon says too, is it within your budget? I just want to make sure it's the best option for you. And she will ask that line, and she'll even dig into it a little bit more. Like, whenever someone says they're thinking on it, you really want to try to get them to crack. And like I said, they're either going to crack on, a couple different things, either, availability, this, and that. But 90% of the time, and I always assume it too, it's just price. Like, it's literally just price. So that's why we can do one of two things. We can either have a customer say, hey, I'm thinking on it. I don't know when I'm going to get it done. I'm thinking on, yada, yada. And then we could be like, okay, awesome. I'm going to shoot you over a proposal. This will have you think on it, yada, yada, yada. Or what we can do before we send over that proposal is we can be like, okay, sir, this is essentially asking, okay, why? It's essentially asking in a nicer way, okay, why the fuck are you thinking on it? Like, what's your main thing? Like, why are you not booking now? So we have her do that. Does everything in the package seem good? We confirm that. Okay, the service sounds awesome. We confirm that they want the service. They even said it out loud. Okay, I want the service. Everything's inside the package is beautiful, sir. Okay, out of curiosity too, like, it all depends on how you talk to and your tonality and all that stuff. Is it really within your budget, sir? Like, I just want to make sure I'm assisting you properly and pointing you towards the best package that's not only gonna be best fit for your vehicle, but also be best fit for your pockets as well, sir. Does this sound like something that's actually, within your price point? And then if it's within the price point, if they, they verify on that, then put them in proposal, or send them a proposal, then put them in thinking, or not put them in get back to you, get them a call back. But 9 times out of 10, they'll just back here and they'll just be like, oh yeah, to be honest with you, it's this, and that. And 9 times out of 10, it's just price. So you really, before you let someone think about it and you put them in thinking on it or get back to you and you send them those follow-up texts, make sure you understand why. Because doing this method, what I call the AVD method and framework to handle a pricing objection, before I did this, I wouldn't close nearly as much until after I started using. Once I started using the AVD framework, which I came up with, it might exist somewhere else in the world, but as of right now, I feel like I came up with it. But someone else definitely uses it. Actually, no, he does, because the dude that actually got my the Chris Dietz dude who found me my sales rep, who I sold, who I paid $3,000 for him to find a sales rep for me. Yes, I paid $3,000 for my sales rep. He found me a nice qualified sales rep. It was worth it. But what he did on his call, and you got to keep in mind that his whole entire business is sales, closing, and he's been in it for years. He's sold millions and millions of dollars. So that's his main thing. What he did to me is, I got on the call and he was like, hey, Vin, it's $6,000. Bro, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not paying $6 grand. Like, it's not worth $6 grand. And he knows that too. But he has that high price point, and if someone buys, he's doing backflip. Someone just bought at $6K, awesome, perfect. But in reality, he knows his real price is anywhere from $2 to $3K. So then what happened was, I wasn't buying at that price. I was like, yeah, nah. I mean, I'm not. I was literally a bot. Like, I was like literally one of our prospects. I was like, yeah, no, I can't do it. I need to think on it, like all sorts of stuff. All my objections. And he's like, hey, Vinny, you know what I can do for you? What if we cut this price in half? To be completely honest with you, like, I've already sold, multiple people this week, we're doing awesome. I'm willing to work with you. I know you're friends with Brandon, all sorts of stuff. What if I bring it down to $3K for you, which is his real price? And then he brought it down to $3K. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. What if we can do $2K out the door? I'll buy it right now, I told him. And then what he did on top of that is, so the first thing he did was he anchored the price down from 6K down to 3K. And then when I told him to get a 2K, he value stacked. So he increased the perception of the cost and, making the price seem better. So he's like, okay, Vin, don't cut me on price. What if I do this? What if I give you 3 one-on-one calls with me, you, and your sales rep, and we stay at that 3K price point? I bought at that 3K price point. Why? Because the perceived value of the service increased, making the price sound better. And that's what I do inside of my detailing business now. Is the best way to handle a pricing objection is just to lower the price. But obviously our pricing and our packages have to be set up in a way for us able to do so. So if someone books in at our high ceramic coating price, it's like, yeah, we're doing backflips off the wall. We just got a high ticket ceramic coating booked in for $1,500, $2 grand, yada, yada, yada. Awesome. If not, what Caitlin does is she does the ABD framework. She's like, okay, did you have a specific? So once we hear that it's a sales or a pricing objection, it's like, hey, do you have a specific budget in mind regarding the project? And now we want to follow our ABD method, which is anchor, value stack, and then downsell. So first we anchor, then we're like, okay, we bullshit a little bit because that's just what it's about sometimes. We bullshit a little bit. We're like, okay, sir. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I know your budget is a little bit lower. And obviously sometimes if their budget really is below 500, then we'll go straight to the downsell, but I'll jump in that later in this. But the first thing we do is we anchor. So it's like, okay, sir, I know that $1,300 price point for a 3-year coating, I know it's a lot. To be completely transparent with you though, sir, the reason why we're going forth and we're actually running 50% off right now is simply because we just got a brand new shop. We want to stack this shop out. We really want to get as much videos in there. That's the reason why we're running 50% off. And to be completely honest with you, we've been selling this 50% off the shelves. Like, everyone's been buying it. We got multiple slots booked up. We only have a couple slots left. To be completely honest with you, because of that, I'm willing to work with you, sir. It sounds like, you really want to get your vehicle ceramic coated. You really need that one-step paint correction. I want to help you out here. What if I bring that price from $1,300 down to $1,000? Does that sound a little bit more within your budget? So we bring the price down anywhere from $300 to $400. Boom, I've booked in a lot of people there. Boom, boom, boom. They book, they don't. It's good, but I still don't want to buy it. Okay, sir, you know what? I'm gonna do you even better. What if I go for and I bring that price down from $1,300 down to $1,000, and this is where we value stack, and then it's like, okay, what if we toss on a free rim and glass ceramic coating for you? So that's an extra $400 in value, completely for free. Boom, the perceived value of the package went up, making the price seem better. They might buy in on that, they might not, and then boom, if they don't, this is where we downsell. So when we go forth and we downsell, oops, where was I? This one. So when we go forth and we downsell, that is essentially if their budget is like, oh no, I was thinking like $300, $400. Okay, yeah. So even if that $700 or $1,000 price point is better than our normal price, but it's still not good for them, their budget is below 500, then all we simply do is downsell. I have 2 downsells in my company. Go on my You're Able, guys. Take a look at all my packages. I would recommend honestly just copying them. I literally crafted them in the best way possible. Our packages matter so much, and our pricing matters so much inside of our company, especially when you want to dial in your sales method, because the better your packages are, that makes the sales process easier. And Caitlin has been in place for only 1 to 2 weeks. She's already booking a shit ton every single day because I systemized everything for her. Like I said before the beginning of the call, I made 80% of her work get done with systems, our Notion platform, the script. 80% of her job is getting done through the systems that I built. She just has to put in 20% of the work, which makes her be able to, gain that knowledge and that, talent way faster, meaning that I can do this with multiple different sales reps and scale the company to the moon with multiple different locations. But the main thing that I was talking about is the downsell. So I have 2 different types of downsells. And before, in the middle of the call, there's a questioning section where we question, okay, what do you want? Is it the protection? Is it the gloss? Is it the swirling? Is it the paint? And during this point, she notices if they want more of a paint correction or more of a ceramic coating. So if we need to downsell them, I have a ceramic coating with no paint correction. This is for the vehicle that just want the protection. They're newer. All it includes is, hey, sir, so I know this might sound a little bit out of your budget. Considering the fact that I figured out that you had, brand new paint, your vehicle is brand new, we actually do have a service that might sound a little bit better for you and be better within your budget. It's our 3-year ceramic coating. Just doesn't include that one-step polish, but you're still getting a decontamination wash, and then you're still getting that 3-year ceramic coating applied to your vehicle's paint. It just doesn't include that one step, but as you kind of said, it's nicer to have, but it's not needed for your case, sir. That's normally about $800. That comes down to about $400 as of right now. You want to book in on that? Awesome. And then we have our other downsell. Say they wanted less of the protection, they wanted more for that paint correction. So yes, sir. So I know that you obviously would love to get the ceramic coating. You would love to get your vehicle protected and glossy. But like you said, your main concern is that fading paint. Your vehicle really needs a 1-step. It just needs a little bit more enhanced. We have a buff and seal package for you, sir. It's not going to include the ceramic coating, but you're still going to get a decontamination wash, a 1-step polish, and the application or an 8-month paint sealant. That's normally $800. That comes down to about $400 for you. And then boom, that's what we're doing is we're 95% of the time, to go back to what you talked about, Muhammad, is why are people thinking on it? 90% of the time it's price. Okay, then we just got to handle the price objection. using the ABD method, and that's gonna help you, bro. This shit is like, this
How
should help.
many downsells like the $400 for the wash and coat or just the paint correction do you actually get?
Bro, a shit ton, bro. That shit's been working for me for a while now. That
Dang.
downsell is beautiful, bro. That downsell will get a lot of people, bro. Because it's like, okay, do you have a specific budget in mind regarding the project? So say I pitched them on $1,000. Oh yeah, I was thinking more like $300, $400. Oh, perfect. I got that service. If we didn't have that service, he wouldn't have ever bought from us. At least we got him in the door for $300, $400. It takes my employees no time to get done. Boom, we get it done like that. Ceramic coatings, the thing is too, is you got to realize the reason why the ABD method works so good for us is because ceramic coatings are so damn profitable that we are able to play around so much with it. Say our price is normally $1,300, I'm still going to be happy if I get $700 for that service. The profit margins are so damn good. You know, I'd rather get them for $700 for no money at all. You know what I'm saying? And another thing Caitlin asked me as well, she's like, Vin, we pitched the guy on 1,300. He said he'll probably get it. He said that he's thinking on it. He sounds like he really wants it. Why don't we just send him over a proposal and then get him in that price point at the future? Because I'm like, Caitlin, to be honest with you, you know, you don't know how this person will react. That's time. We want to book everyone in right here, right now. And, you know, even if it sounds like they might buy that higher price point over time, you know, what I've seen in the majority of business is usually they won't. Usually we'll get back, or they'll be struggle to get on the phone. We want to get everything done right here, right now. And ceramic coatings are really beautiful. They're highly profitable. So we're able to start with that high price, and then even, you know, hey, you know what? I've been doing it for quite a while now, for the past like month or two. It's been working great. It's just like, okay, sir, so that does that. $1,300 price point sounds a little high, you know, let me drop you down. Because the reason why I started it is my pricing was $700 for 3 years. It was like $950 for 5 years, and then it was like $1,500 for like 10 years, something like that. And I was like, I feel like I should up my pricing. Like, should I up my pricing? Like, whatever, like, fuck it, let me just up my pricing. So I upped my pricing, and all I did was I upped my pricing. If someone bought in at the new pricing, it's like, okay, amazing. But if someone didn't buy at the new pricing, I just went back down to my old pricing. And then that's where I kind of was like, wait, why don't I just do this more? And then one day I remember I booked like 6K in my new apartment, and I was like, what I did that whole day to book people in, I literally had a feeling in me that whole day where I was like, anyone that gets on the phone with me is fucking buying. Like that, like I was like, oh, bro, anyone that was on the phone with me was fucking buying. You want to know why? Because I worked around their needs and why they're thinking on it, what their price point was, what their budget was, and I either lowered the price or I downsold them. And that shit is beautiful because it handles price objections perfectly. And like I said, price objections are the main reason why people are thinking on it. Thinking on it is just a smoke screen because they don't want to buy right now. They don't want to spend that price.
Dang, that's fire. Okay, and
I'll
then
just quickly.
yeah,
Oh, that one. Sorry, go for it.
you good.
Yeah, I was just gonna share my screen really quick too. While Vincent was talking about that, which so like literally, so I'm literally gonna bounce off the same thing. What I went ahead and made for you guys to see visually, so you guys can kind of understand it from a visual perspective. I think, at least for me, drawings definitely help a lot easier. I made this. This is what I want you guys to understand when it comes to closing. So the first thing before I even explain what this is you guys need to understand and separate two things. A lot of people here think closing and sales are the same thing. They're not. They're two completely different components and variables. Sales is everything leading up to you asking for somebody's money. Closing, think of it as the last final stretch. Anybody here that's ever run track or cross country, everyone knows that a 400-meter dash, for example, is one full lap around, the track. It's a quarter of a mile. Think of closing as that last 100 meters. It's the finish line. I see it. It's right there. Closing is me asking for the money, me getting the deposit, me booking them on the schedule. That's closing. And so, in my opinion, closing is the most important part. This is where you get paid. This is where you make money. This is where a lot of businesses, in my opinion, fail at really understanding the importance of it. And so what Vincent was talking about, hey, it all comes down to price. The real objection is this. I want you guys to think of it truly like this. So think of it in terms of external, which I put here at the top, all the way down to internal. What we want a client to admit is that it is myself that is the problem in regard to blocking me from purchasing the service. So external is circumstances, and then it goes down to other people, and then it goes down to self. And so let me kind of show you as an example of that. So that is this. So that comes down to circumstances. Hey, I'm too busy. Other people, the middle of the onion. I need to talk to my wife. I've had a bad experience with other detailers before. What we want to get them to is here, self. I need to think about it or it's not for me. A lot of the times you need to work them down from here to here. You need them to admit that it is me and my decision from me purchasing the service. And if you can get them to do that, it's going to be the easiest, like it's going to be way easier to close them. Because a lot of times you're going to hear, hey, I'm too busy, my calendar's full, I don't know exact time, it's too expensive. Other people might be, hey, I need to talk to my wife, I need to talk to my husband. I've had a bad experience before, external or other people in terms of circumstance. And then finally themselves. That's where you want to get that down to. And the reason why that's important is because in sales it's called power stealing, which is stuff people blame, which is obstacles or objections. And that's what you want to go ahead and get out of the way. You want to get this out of the way. You want to get this out of the way. You really think that they're going to talk to their wife or their husband for them to make a decision to get their car ceramic coated? No, it's themselves. And so you might be wondering, okay, sweet Sebastian, I understand that. I understand the onion of bloom. It goes from external down to internal, from circumstances, other people, and self. Okay, sweet. I understand that. How do I get them to finally, admit it's themselves? Well, think of it like this. If somebody comes to me and they says, hey, I need to think about it, dude. Like, I got to talk to my wife. Well, I know first off, that's bullshit. I want everyone to hear to really ingrain in their mind when it comes from a sales perspective, people hate confrontation. They really do. Majority of an average human being with decent IQ, they hate confrontation. People are more likely to give you bullshit than them say themselves, no. They'd rather give you an excuse to get off the call. They'd rather avoid the problem and avoid the confrontation. And so you want them to admit that it's themselves. So how do we get that to them to admit it when it comes to like, hey, them saying, talk to my wife and talk to my husband? Well, simply put, you need to frame it in a way for them to reveal what their real objection is. Because it's like what Vincent said. Sometimes some of these will be a real objection. Not all the time. Sometimes people really need to talk to their wife. Sometimes people really are afraid of the price. Sometimes their schedule really is full. But we need to figure out what that real objection is for us to resolve that issue. And so, for example, if somebody says, hey, you talk to my wife. Yeah, of course, no worries. I'm going to get that out of the way and be like, I can definitely give you a call back once you've went ahead and talk to your wife. Real quick, though, one last question before we get off the phone. What do you think your wife might be opposed to in terms of this package? What does that do? They don't know what their wife's going to say. They know that that objection is false and it's not real. It's just a way for them to get off the call. What are they going to do by me asking that question? Hey, Vincent, what do you think your wife, might be opposed to when it comes to getting the car ceramic coated? Well, I think she might be, a little bit scared of the price, or, maybe she wants to hold off a little bit longer. You think that's the wife's objection, or you think it's theirs? It's theirs. So they're subconsciously giving you what their real objection is. So when it comes to a closing perspective, like in our reality, closing is, in my opinion, I think one of the more difficult things to master. And it's not memorizing words on paper. It's not memorizing a specific script. It's like what Vincent went ahead and mentioned. It's understanding formulas. It's understanding. It's like math, right? You can understand one problem. Oh, I know how every single time I get that specific problem, I can answer it with ease. But if you don't know the formula and you can't plug it into any given problem that you get, you're not going to ever get good at it, nor you will ever get a good score on the test. And so you need to understand and memorize the formula, not the words on the paper, not a memorization of words, not the script, but the formula. And so this is something I want you guys to go ahead and memorize when it comes to the specific kind of closing stuff. Hey, are they giving me a circumstance objection, an objection with other people, or self? So, and if it's this, hey, if they say I'm too busy or too expensive, let's get it down to them saying one of these, which is self. I think it's too expensive. The price is an issue for me, XYZ. And we can get them to admit this or give us what the real objection might be through racking. For those of you who don't know what racking is, ARAC, acknowledge, redirect, ace, and close. Acknowledge what they have to say. Redirect them back to what you were talking about. Ace them by offering what Vincent mentioned, an ignored price or a discount or more value or whatever the case may be, anything that removes or goes around what their issue is, and then close, which is actually close the deal. So I hope that kind of helped. This is also going to be included, all these concepts, pictures. We're making doodles and stuff like Alex Hormozi style to kind of go ahead and go over this in the sales handbook that I'm going to be making with Vincent for all of you guys to get to use. But I hope that helped. My bad, Mohammed. I hope you didn't forget what you were going to say.
I was gonna ask Vincent, whenever you pitch them the price, do you kind of figure out what their budget is or how many years they want, like a protection do they want, or do you always try to start with like the 10-year package?
That's the thing. You always want to start high and then work down. That's why the down sells aren't really there until they need to be there. Because
So you open up 10-year, you give them our 10-year package is $14.99 after the 50% off. Or...
Yes, to be completely honest with you, like I won't always jump straight up to the 10-year and offer them the 10. Yeah, you could do that. That could be good. Normally what Caitlin does and what I do is when there's in our sales script, it's like we greet ourselves, we inform them on what a ceramic coating is or what a detail is. And then after that, we question them. And then after we question them and we figure out what they truly want, then we get into our packages. So here at Cruise, we got a 3, 6, and 10 year. It includes X, Y, X, Y, and Z. Does that sound like something that would benefit your vehicle? And then we also ask them, are you leaning more towards the 3, the 6, or the 10? This way we can kind of understand, what they would want, what they would need. And this is where I kind of gain trust sometimes too. You can kind of see like, okay, either their vehicle's a lease, it's only 3 years, or either going to keep it for 10 years. Sometimes what I'll do too to gain quick trust that Alex from Mosley says is like, you take like a fake, it's hard to explain, but like sometimes if someone is really like in position for the 6, and like the 6 sounds perfect for them, sometimes I'll actually be like, okay, yeah, so you plan on keeping your vehicle or this is sometimes too after I do figure out their budget, I'll be like, okay, so yeah, so you do want to keep your vehicle for longer. You're not sure if you're going to keep it for 6, 8, or 10 years. So we do get our 10-year. That is our most expensive one. To be completely honest with you, I think if it was me, I would go with the 6-year. I don't want you spending an insane amount of money on this, and the worst comes to worst, you just get it reapplied after the 6 years. That just gains some quick trust because then they're like, wait, this guy isn't trying to get the most amount of money out of me. And yeah, don't get me wrong, like you want to try to sell them on the 10-year, but if you kind of after getting your conclusions, like okay, their vehicle is in an M4. There's just like certain things that you can pick upon, to figure out if they're going to afford it or not before you even hear about price. And some of what I'll do is I'll just be like, okay, yeah, so I want to recommend the 10-year, and I'll gain quick trust. That's just a quick trust grab that you can do to really make a person feel like you're not just trying to snag their money. And that's what I do there. But essentially, to answer your question is I'm doing what Brandon does. I'm asking if, hey, you're leaning more towards the 3, the 6, or the 10. And then you can obviously upsell them from there. That's one thing I do struggle with. I'm going to be completely honest. I have to figure out is like, how do we get more people on 10 years instead of 3 and 6 years? Because obviously majority get 3, some get 6. Barely anyone gets a 10. You know what I mean?
I guess it's still a good price anchor, I guess, if you tell them the price of the 10-year and then
Yeah, exactly. You can still do the same thing there too. You could still start with your 10-year. You could be like, so real quick, sir, our 10-year is more about this, and that, and then you can work down from the 10-year. You can anchor down to the 6-year, then you can anchor down to the 3-year, and you can do so forth and so. Yeah, like there's definitely different ways to play around with. And to be honest, like I'm still like new. Like everything's really well in my company, but everything's optimized. So yeah, that could be something that could work a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then, bro, you gotta send me that sales script. I need to read that over.
Everyone wants to, bro. Something new. I literally just created it, but like I can confidently say that I think that this is like one of the best sales scripts like out there for detailing for sure. And alongside of it too, though, Mohammed, it's not just the sales script; it's my packaging. So go on my Arable, and if I were you, just completely copy my packaging. My packaging it's beautiful. It's just so perfect. For full details, it's perfect. For ceramic coating, it's perfect. It just makes so much sense. And like, I'll break it down real quick here. Give me 1 second. Up here. Am I still sharing my screen or no?
No.
No.
Okay, here, let me pull it up real quick because I want to go over this real quick because you have to leave pretty soon. I have to finish my shop.
Yeah.
But real quick. So here's my services here. Let me show you. Because like one thing that Sebastian made me realize with his company is like, bro, your packages and your pricing matters so much more than you think. Like depending on how much your package is matters so much. Depending on how much value is in your package, it all matters so much. But one thing that you'll notice too is I added a presidential package, which is like this includes everything ceramic coated, your interior, exterior, glass, and like Brandon does charge a lot more than me. He charged like $2,300 for his 10-year. I just simply haven't gone to that point yet, mainly because I've still been rolling, still getting shot, so my pricing still needs to increase. But my presidential package is like, if we hear someone that's like, okay, they want everything within their company, they want literally everything and anything they could get, then we have the high option. So if you don't have a high option, no one can buy it. But if you have a high option, someone can buy it. It might be minimal, but who knows? You know what I mean there? And then yeah, what's up, Emmett?
Oh, no. I was just saying, I do need to skedaddle. I mean, I appreciate I appreciate all your guys' information, dude. That was great.
Of course, dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
man, I was gonna
I gotta
tell
get out to my boys' barbecue, so
you're good. I was gonna tell
Yeah.
everyone this, but Emmett, for you too, this is gonna be a consistent thing. It's every 2 weeks, so the next one's in 2 weeks on a Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. So if you guys ever want to pop in, this is just a good opportunity to ask myself or even Vincent questions on anything.
yeah. You know what's funny? I was just on a sales call too, and as you were talking about the talk to your wife, objection, I got hit with the talk to your wife objection. I was like,
That's funny.
yeah, no, I didn't close.
Nurture, bro, nurture. Keep following up, and we'll nurture them. But yeah, fire.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
thank
I
you for being
appreciate
here,
you
Emmett.
guys. Thank you. I'll be on the call next. And then Vincent, I think we have I got my Euroball all set up, so we should be good for like Monday or Tuesday for our monthly call.
I think he's frozen.
I think he's frozen. Yeah. All right.
He's
I'll see you guys later.
flexing on us.
Peace
See
out.
ya, Emmett. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we text Vincent. He gave us he's flexing on us with that pose. He's in a statue pose right now. That's what are the chances he gets stuck in that exact pose? Let me text him. But yeah, the new sales handbook and closing stuff is something I'm making with Vincent, so we'll share that with all of you guys. Yeah, I think internet probably messed up. And then we'll get that out to everyone so that everyone is able to kind of see the concepts that Vinny's made, mixture of how pricing ties to that, nurturing, all that stuff. I think this is a good time to kind of leave it for the last maybe 5-10 minutes or end things. Or if anybody has a question that they quickly want answered, this is a good time to go over it. Does anybody have anything else that they want answered or specific question they might have?
I got someone. It's kind of
Go
specific.
for it. Yeah, go for it.
So let's say I've been seeing it online. I understand with the holiday lighting leads, and then that's when I've had my best close rates actually going there, sitting down with them. Is it possible? Like, I'm sure the close rate is probably going to be smaller, but if there's more leads coming in, is it something that I can do like on a Google Meet like this, or online, or just over the phone?
So think of your closing as like what are the best options I have? Well, the best option I have for closing is in person, then over Zoom/Google Meets, then over the phone, then through text. And so my personal opinion, at least for your service, since it's a little bit different, more high ticket in comparison to maybe what other people are doing here, I would say do a 2-step close. First close is, hey, get them on the phone whenever they come in as a lead, qualify them through questions, figure out what they're looking for, and give them a price range. Hey, you're expecting to pay anywhere from $750 all the way up to $2,500. I'd love to go ahead and book a time sometime in the next 48, 72 hours so we can go in person, give you a more realistic estimate so you know what price is. What that's going to do is that then gives you the opportunity to schedule time, give them reminders, tell them you're coming. Hey, do you like Dutch Bros or Starbucks? Bring them a coffee, bring them a donut, meet them in person, look them in their eyes, shake their hand, give them a real estimate, and then there's your opportunity to close them in person. I think, sure, it's going to save you a lot of time to do Google Meets, but in person, you're always going to close way more. So I would stick in person. Do a 2-step close.
All right, perfect.
Yep. And then, sorry, Austin, go for it.
So when it comes to downselling the service, whether that be a ceramic coating or detail, how far would you take that? Because obviously you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and cut profit margins. So how far do you downsell until you're like, okay, this is not going to be a good fit for the customer?
I mean, like at the end of the day, it's like we talked about, it's like understanding what your customer really wants. Maybe they inquired for ceramic coating, but they really need a wash, clean, seal. Maybe they inquired for an interior detail, but they really need the outside washed and interior cleaned as well. So the first thing is understanding what do they inquire on, but what do they realistically need? So that's going to come through the questions that you ask. Being a therapist, probing them, seeing like, hey, what it is you're looking for, what are your main priorities, what's kind of the things that you want cleaned up the most. Once you understand that, always, I mean, at the end of the day, start at your highest price. Like, that's completely fine. Work your way all the way down, even if that means you get to your most cheapest, lowest ticketed price, because you paid for that lead. I mean, get your value out of it. And even if they're not here for X, because that's not within their budget, give them something that they're here for, that they do need, that's within their price range. And obviously for some people, like we talked about, some people will never buy. 10% of people will never buy. 10% will always. 80% of the people, it's going to be helping them guide and make that decision for them. But I would say keep going. Like just because you anchor them at a $5,000 package, then go down to a $1,500 ceramic coating, doesn't mean they're not going to say no to the $500, 3-year with no correction. So keep working your way down for sure. And then through the questions you
sweet.
ask as well, you'll understand kind of their budget and what more realistically they're willing to spend. That's just making sure, like I said, like asking the right questions is going to help you guide what packages they're more so looking for.
Yeah, and what their main priority is,
Exactly.
whether that be a paint correction or a ceramic coating. So
Exactly. 110%. Beautiful. Any other questions?
I do. Quick
Yeah.
one. Going back to the Instagram page when we first started.
Yeah.
Again, this could be for everyone, but this is kind of masking for me.
Yeah.
Dude, I was messing around with it. I'll actually show you my phone here if it focuses. What do you think about like holiday lighting, like theme, like Christmas logos or something like that? Like I put like a
Yeah,
little
100%.
and
Like
then
those are small details, but like even
Yeah.
the minute details people are going to appreciate.
I stole
Yeah,
I stole Vince's bio already.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
So like, even those small details, like me, like you guys might see if you guys look at the LEADFUSE Instagram or anything, like I'm very OCD, and so whenever I work with other companies or I'm looking for a service or a product or whatever, I look for the same things that I do for myself. So like, what are even the small details that companies are paying attention to that
Mhm.
shows me that they're going to do the same thing when it comes to the service that they give me. So it's like even those small details people will appreciate. It's obviously not the make or break of whether you get a close or not, but like making small things and an effort into the branding of your business there, it's gonna make a difference.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Beautiful. Anyone else?
Last thing, I just want to talk about because I recorded some ads today for top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel.
Yeah.
So obviously the top of funnel, you said the budget's like 60-70%, and then middle of funnel is like 20-ish, and then bottom of funnel is like 10.
Yeah.
Are you still gonna get a return on your investment on the top of funnel, or is that just mainly just to kind of qualify people, and then the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel is mainly where your money's gonna come from?
Yeah, you for sure will. You just may not specifically see that through obviously the top of funnel, because the top of funnel stuff, we're not directing them to a quote form, we're directing them to your page.
Okay.
And so like, yeah, 100%. You may not, like I said, you're not going to see a direct return on ad spend or a direct return on investment from top of funnel. You're going to see that as a positive variable from the people that are getting funneled down to the actual offer creative. But yeah, 100%. All it's going to do, like I said, it's either, sure, your cost per lead might increase because we have a lot less people coming into the bottom of it, but that qualification process in terms of the people that actually know about the service, are educated, know the value, see that it works for others, is going to be like through the roof. That's the whole point of kind of this new funnel.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I already got all the footage stuff
Beautiful.
ready, so I'm gonna get that edited and then hopefully start running that in a few days.
Yep. We're going to crush it, bro.
Yes.
So anybody else, by all means, if you have anything.
What do y'all think of changing to day rate over hourly, or like changing the pay structure whenever winter hits? Because I don't think it's going to get much slower, but like tomorrow we have a bunch of rain, and so I had to tell one guy that he's not going to be able to work, and I don't feel like that's the best for culture.
That's a good question. I think Vincent would probably be the better person to answer that, or if Mohammed, you have anything. But the question once more was switching to day rate rather than hourly?
Yeah, to guarantee that I don't lose anybody.
Why don't you just I mean, Brandon, he pays hourly. He doesn't do day rate just because if you work a bunch, if you work a bunch of hours, do you get paid extra, or do you just get paid that same day rate?
It'd be the same day rate over winter, but like that's kind of anticipating that we might not be quite as busy. So if somebody only has to work 4 hours and they still get paid a reasonable wage, but then if they have to work 10 hours and then get paid the same, and then it'd just be tips, but it'd be like guaranteed pay.
I think maybe what might work well too is switching for like P for P, pay for performance, where it's like at baseline you have or like at the top, for example, you have they get paid a certain top line percentage of revenue coming in. For example, if they do a $500 job, figure out what percentage makes sense so it's not cutting deep into profits, and they'll get paid based on that percentage for the work that they do. And if, for example, it takes them an extended period of time that goes below what they would have been paid hourly, then that baseline just goes back to hourly. So as an example, like this is just figuratively, there's $1,000 job and you're paying them 20% P for P, then they get $200 from that top line coming in from that $1,000 job. And let's say, for example, you pay them, just as an example, $20 an hour. Then that would take them obviously, let's say 10 hours to do that $1,000 job for them to make that $200. Let's say if it took them more time, and this is an example, right? This is just obviously you'd change or adjust the percentage. But if, for example, it took them more than that time and they made less than the $20 per hour they'd make, then they'd just go to the baseline of what they would make hourly. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you're just paying them based on the work that they get, and they're still getting paid equivalent, if not more than what they would make hourly, to make sure that they're still kind of they're not opposed to leaving.
I was thinking in the future for me, instead of, because that's pretty much like that's like commission. I was thinking of doing like flat rate, because with ceramic coatings, with the profitability, if you sell a 3-year for 1,000 and like a 10-year for like 2K, I don't want to pay my guy double. That's just like, you know. So I was thinking of any ceramic coating, as long as like a polish, you know, as long as I know it's gonna take a 3-year coating and a 10 year is gonna be the same if it's a one step. You just paying whatever 200-300, whatever that thing is, and then whatever package he does is based on the hours, because I know it's gonna take him 1 day to do the ceramic coating. He's just gonna get paid this plus tips, and I keep all the profit. So that's what I was planning on doing later, but right now I'm gonna stick to hourly just because it's more simple.
I think it just comes down to also knowing your numbers. Like if you know it takes this amount of time to do a job, you know you're paying them this, maybe incentivize them through a P for P, pay for performance structure, where maybe and for example, that not only helps with avoiding people leaving, like you mentioned, Jack, where it might be a tad bit slower, that also helps with performance, because then people also know if they work faster, then for example, then they're going to make more. But then you might question, well, if they work faster, then the quality of the work might decrease. Well, then also tell them, hey, sweet, awesome. If the quality of the work decreases and you work faster and you make more, then you are responsible for going back to that job. Since you've already been paid a percentage of that total top line revenue, then you are, as the person in charge of that job, goes back, fixes the issue, and you already got paid for that specific job. You just have to go back and make up what you did wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That might help as well. But yeah, I think I know Vincent lagged out, but I'll shoot him a message and see what he comes up with specifically for that problem too.
Yeah, I also wonder if he has any luck with his guys selling, because I know he has a sales rep now. Upselling or just getting people on maintenance plans, because I have so many people that like want to get on a maintenance plan, and my guys come back to the shop and they're like, hey man, like this dude was super interested in getting on a monthly or quarterly plan. It's like,
are you incentivizing them through upsells?
Yeah, I have them like 10% of every single maintenance client. They get that for lifetime. So like they're assigned to that. They're assigned to that one maintenance.
Wow. Okay. I would say, like, why don't you just increase the amount of money they get initially and don't do lifetime? Like figure out what the LTV, like figure out what the lifetime value of a maintenance client is. Let's say, for example, it's $200 a month and average client on maintenance stays 12 months. You're going to make $2,400 off that specific person that does maintenance. Instead of giving 10% of that for that whole year, every single month, just be like, sweet, now because you track your numbers and you know the LTV of that specific client, just reduce that to what they get initially. So be like, hey, every maintenance client you get me, it's $100. Sure, maybe you're going a little bit out of pocket, or you're giving them 50% upfront of what they paid that first month, but it's out of the way. They get more cash up front, and you don't have to give up top line revenue over an extended period of time. Plus, it's more incentivizing to them, because they're like, I think I know the mindset you had there, which is like, oh, that gets them to stay here longer, because if they leave, then they won't get that equity or top line revenue commission. But it's like, I think personally, it's like, you got to remember, like, employees, sure, they're here for their culture and they have incentivizations, but they're here at the end of the day for money. So it's like, if we can increase the amount of money they get in a shorter period of time up front, then like they're more likely going to be maybe more incentivized to do it more often.
I like that. I just know, like, for me, because I give my guys $12 per review as well, and like I'm still the only person that ever gets reviews, and we have like 225, so that's still pretty solid.
What do you give them for reviews? I didn't hear you.
$12.
I do two things. Increase that a little bit and gamify it. Like if you have multiple guys, first thing, like I said, this is the importance of tracking your data and knowing your numbers. Like, how long is it taking you to get a review yourself? What does reviews do for your business in terms of brand foundation? So increase that. Maybe it's $15, $20 to get a review, for example. And let's say, for example, you have challenges at the end of the week. Let's say, hey, you have 4 employees. Whoever gets the most reviews in a given week, every Friday, you're going to have the opportunity to play a game of, knockout through basketball, buy a basketball hoop for the shop. And whoever wins, based on the top maybe 2 people who do whatever, or maybe they 1v1 basketball, whatever you want, gamify it. The top 2 people who get the most reviews, 1v1, whoever wins gets a $100 gift card, a $50 gift card, whatever. Then you're doing a couple things. Number one, people are going to be more inclined to get reviews, not only for the bonus, but also for to be able to enter on the game and get an extra bonus. And number 2, you're increasing the culture of the company, because then people are a little bit more competitive. Like, oh, I'm going to get more reviews, I'm going to beat you in that basketball game, whatever the case may be. I think that might help.
I like that.
And then on top of that, the way that you ask for the review. So whenever I had my mobile detailing business, I had over 155 5-star reviews. It's still up, everything. 100% of the time, every single time I got a review, simple way I ever did it was we finished the job before point of sale, and I actually charged the car, be like, hey, do you like saving money? Who doesn't? Everyone says yes. Sweet. Tell you what, super easy, super fast. I'll take $10 off right now, meal at McDonald's. Just tap this card and leave a quick review. What does that do? You guarantee you get the review right now. Customer saves a quick $10. And number 3, what is the likelihood of somebody leaving a shitty review right in front of your face while they're there? You've already done the walkthrough with them. They already said they're satisfied. They're saving money, and they're incentivized to do it right here rather than you leaving and you telling them to do it after. So just give all of your, go on Amazon, $30, pack of 3, get an Amazon tap to review card, give every single one to all of your employees. Tell them, hey, say this line every single time at the end of every job. That's it.
Gotcha.
By the way,
that will get a lot of reviews.
Jack, for the maintenance plan upsells, why don't they sell them? Do they know the pricing structure to sell them on the job, the maintenance plans?
Yeah, they do. I mean, they vary just a little bit depending on how big the vehicle is and condition, but like typically it's $175 per month, almost like flat rate.
So why are they having trouble selling it?
Just because they'll talk to the client about it and then they don't close them. Like they'll say like the client's like super interested and they just don't book the job when you're able, and we don't have a date set for it.
Also, you think of it like this. This is one quote I love. It's, you sell at the greatest point of deprivation, you get proof at the greatest point of satisfaction. So it's like whenever you're asking someone to do maintenance after a job immediately, the first time you ever service them, or even if you service them before, it's like giving somebody a steak, and then as soon as they finish the steak, hey, you want another steak? Like, hey, you just got your car washed. It looks awesome. Do you want to get it washed again? Like in their mind, they don't see the value of getting maintenance right then and there. But what if you texted or called them a week later and their car's dirty and you send them a picture of their nice clean car? Hey, do you want this to stay more consistently clean? Let's hop on a call and talk about maintenance.
Yeah, that's good.
Like they're not maybe going to want to buy it right then and there after they just got it cleaned. They don't see the value in it when it's clean right there, right then and there in front of them. So maybe extending that period of time and when you ask.
So maybe the employees can plant the seed of maintenance, see if they're interested, and then you can put in a task to kind of call them after a week or send them a text and then try to close them there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't really have like, I don't know, whenever it's only sales, it doesn't really feel like it can be an 8-hour workday, but a lot of times it's just like 4 hours of like grueling calling. But I do have a lot of time right now.
Good. That's fire. Good stuff. I would say for sure do that. Don't rely on your guys to do maintenance upsells anymore. Just do it like a couple of days or a week after service. Show people like, hey, remember what your car looked like? Look how clean it is in this picture and video we took. Let's hop on the phone really quick and get you on a maintenance. Because then people are going to see the value of it. After a week of driving, it's for sure going to get dirty again. There's going to be dust, pollen, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are good points. And those are things we can automate too. I wanted to take these group calls as well to understand what we can automate. Because like maybe something like that, we can auto text somebody a week after you put them in job complete, or it texts them like, hey, this is what your car looked like, blah, blah, blah. Let's go and get you on maintenance.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Any other questions?
Sebastian, what do you think about posting on organic Instagram? Like, I know,
dude, you should. Were you?
Well, I know to post. It's just like what to post. Like, I have a videographer, but I really don't feel like
Three things. Super simple.
Okay.
Education / value, testimonial and social proof, and you as a founder. Like literally that's the majority. And then obviously what Vincent went over too. When you have a chance and you have just a quick clip of a nice car, like just post cars. Like what I think a lot of people should do that I don't see them ever do, super easy. After you finish a job, take a picture of a car from the same angle every single time. With that Google review strategy I told you, get a Google review every time. Make a slideshow. Picture of the car. Next slide is a Google review they left. And if you can post like 10 of those a week, bro. You know, like imagine somebody goes on your Instagram, they see 100 posts of the car slide, 5-star Google review from that person whose car it was. Bro, that's gonna be like people are gonna be like, holy shit, this guy has. Like think of it as like a wall of social proof. Alex Ramosi said whenever he owned gyms, the first thing that people would see whenever they'd walk into his office is he literally had physically a whole entire wall of framed Google reviews. And people would be like, holy shit, look at all these Google reviews. Make your Instagram that same thing. It's a digital wall of proof. It's cars. Next slide, 5-star Google review. 100+ of those. Like have so much social proof, people never doubt that you're the go-to solution for their problem. And so it's like, boom, top of mind, that's the guy. He has 100 million freaking 5-star Google reviews. So I would say that. A lot of social proof, educational content can make up like 20% of that. What I mean by that is like, hey, provide consistent videos of you talking about the value of your service. Hey guys, Athens luxury car owners, this is the step-by-step process that we do to go ahead and do luxury ceramic coatings. And step 1, wash and prep. Step 2, prep, alcohol prep, whatever, or paint correction. Step 3, alcohol prep. Step 4, ceramic coating application process, so on and so forth. So education, social proof, and then finally you as a founder. So like maybe like little memes, or you in your office doing sales calls, or like your story, why I started Detail Dogs. You being a little bit more personal. People being like, oh, this is a real person. It's not just some random business that's a huge corporate company that I shouldn't trust. Like, no, I'm a real family-owned local business. I'm human. People are going to feel a lot more tied to your company.
What do you think about posting ads?
Yeah, 100%. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the funnel stuff that we talked about, where it's like top of funnel education, middle of funnel social proof, those are things that you can post organically and run ads on.
Gotcha.
So like all the educational reels that you'd make, run ads on that. All the middle of funnel, for example, maybe video reels that are like people saying good stuff about your company and giving you a verbal testimonial, run ads on that.
Ooh.
In terms of the actual offer, I think that should be something that shouldn't be posted organically on the page, because the offer is only what we want to give to people who've already been educated, already have seen the value in social proof, and then they're now given the, hey, here's your golden ticket, here's the offer we have for you that's only exclusive to you because you've interacted with our stuff, have been educated, and see the social proof.
Gotcha. I like that.
I
I think I'm gonna experiment later this week. I have a friend that does door-to-door pest control, or he's like 28 or 29, but he's really, really good at it. And I'm gonna build like a laminated sheet of my packages and just go throughout his neighborhood and do monthly sales and see if we can close a couple people. And I think that could be a gold mine.
And you can even think of it like, if your technicians want to, or you incentivize them enough, like whenever they do a house mobily, like go to the 2 houses next over. If they want to make more money, give them like a higher commission or like a percentage of every job that they close. Give them that pamphlet, teach them a few concepts. Be like, hey, you know how simple, you know how much social proof that is? If you go across the street and you knock on somebody's door and you like literally look behind me, like we're literally, look at our van. We're literally washing your neighbor's car. Like, I'm already here. Let's knock it out, get out of the way. I saw your Corvette in the driveway. It's super dusty. I know you want it clean and you don't want it to stay that way. Here's our pamphlet, our packages. Usually it's $250. I'm already here. I want to make it easier for you, and I want my guys to work a little bit longer. I'll bring the price down to this if we can knock it out.
Yeah.
Like, that's so much social
guys
proof.
just hate selling. I want that to happen. They just don't want it.
No, it's important. Like I honestly am not a huge fan of closing or selling either, but it's like if you can get really good at it, understand the formulas and concepts that make a good salesperson and closer, it's going to be so much easier to teach your sales rep whenever you have somebody do that for you. Because then they're going to come to you with issues and you're going to be like, oh, I don't know how to do it because I immediately delegated everything to you and I didn't understand or take the time to learn it myself. So it's like learn it really well yourself first.
Yeah.
Sweet. Any other questions? We'll save it to like one or probably one more question if there is any.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm running like ceramic coatings like a lot right now, but I've never like detailed during the winter, and I'm getting a shop for like this winter.
Nice.
What is like the go-to thing for like winter detailing?
Yeah, so I would say if you're in a shop and you have weather control, basically like cold or rain is not going to affect you, continue to do the ceramic coatings. From there, really, in terms of the actual ads and creatives and everything else, it's just winterizing the service a bit more. So rather than just saying like, hey, come get your car ceramic coating, bye Mohammed, bye Pablo, I don't know if you're piecing out too. Then from there, it's just winterizing things, like wrapping the service and offer around Black Friday, wrapping it around Thanksgiving, wrapping it around Halloween, wrapping it around Christmas and New Year's. So then people are like, oh, sweet, awesome. This is a specific offer for the specific time of year. Awesome. He's in a shop. I can take the car to him. I don't have to worry about XYZ happening outside. And then you're good to go there. But just think of the word as like winterization. How can I make sure that during this time of year and the same service I want to offer, I can combine the two so that people are still incentivized, even in the cold, to go ahead and do that. So maybe that's changing maybe the problems people face by not having a ceramic coated car in the winter. Maybe the problems are now, I don't know if it snows near you, but like snow affecting or scratching the vehicle's paint or XYZ, so that you can go and incentivize people even in the winter for them to purchase, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I'm noticing a little bit of ad fatigue for the 50% off coatings. I've been doing it for like 2 months. How can I change it up while still doing ceramic coatings?
So we'll get you some new scripts. I would say keep same offer, especially if the offer is working well. From here, really, it's just like ads really can run for a long time. There's just this metric called frequency where it's like the amount of times people see the same thing over, which de-incentivizes them to, reach out or get a quote. From here, we just need new videos. So it's like whatever's working the best for you right now, we'll see what better creatives are the best. We'll go ahead and make different variations based off that and give you new scripts for you to go ahead and shoot stuff, or we can go ahead and get that new stuff up. Because like I said at the beginning or whatever part of the call, it's like every campaign has a lifespan. The more that we spend, the faster we get to that lifespan. So we need to make sure that we have new stuff prepared or ready to go so we can replace it as soon as that campaign dies. Or even when it gets close to death, before it even dies, already turn it off and put on a new campaign with new creatives. But I'll go to the team. I'll make sure we can get you some new scripts on that offer so we can get some new creative going.
So we should definitely just keep the 50% off, or is that?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
100%. Right? It's not like, think of it like this. It's not necessarily always the offer that dies down. Like an offer can last 5 years. It's necessarily usually the creative. It's like what people visually and like from audio hear as well. Like we want to change the scenery, the car, you, so on and so forth in a different spot because people are instantly going to be able to tell what's new and what's not.
Mm-hmm. This is more like of a personal question, but I've been struggling to like get myself to like basically like make it a habit to like constantly check the CRM and like call them because I don't know, I'm just something I've been struggling with. How do you get yourself to like do work for your like the company and stuff like that?
Dude, that's a great question. I would say, dude, like at the end of the day, it's like personally, like you really got to think of it in terms of what you want of yourself. So for example, like if your goal at the end of the day, like I'll give you a personal example for me. So when LEADFUSE was launched, I wasn't in the best position personally in my life. And so my goal was to get to X amount of revenue so I can afford more conveniences in my life. I wanted to be able to afford whatever I wanted for food. I wanted to be able to go wherever I want anytime I needed. I wanted to be able to delegate my service to my team to make sure I had more free time to work on stuff I personally wanted to in the business. And so when I finally hit that goal, it's like almost like I plateaued because then it was like, awesome, sweet, I hit that. I'm more comfortable. I'm in a convenient position. The circumstances I'm in are way better than what they used to be. I'm now more demotivated to continue doing what I thought was, a long-term vision of growing a company. So you really got to sit down and be like, am I comfortable? Yes. But do I want to stay in this position and continue to be in it? No. Awesome, sweet. We'll reevaluate your purpose and your goals. Before it was on selfish reason. Before it was, I want to put myself in a specific circumstance to be comfortable. Now you got to think of it in the sense of, well, one day I want to be able to be like, hey mom, here's $100,000. Hey mom, here's a brand new car. Hey, my sister and her husband, hey, here's $10,000, go on a trip. I want to be able to set myself up for the future. So when I'm 30 years old and I have 2 kids, they never have to worry about anything. They can do whatever they want with their lives. So it's like just repurpose and align yourself with what your goals are and just understand on a mathematical level, what is it going to take to get there? Because really the only reason you're not doing stuff, like you got to really tell yourself this stuff and be real, is like, well, I'm comfortable. I'm okay with what I'm doing now. And that comfort is exceeding what the actual work I need to do is based on the goals I quote unquote tell myself I have. So just repurpose your goals. Sure, your goal might be the same. It still might be to hit 100K per month as fast as possible. But what's the reason behind it? Because maybe and likely before you already hit those goals, you can already do stuff that puts you in a comfortable position. So you just need to recenter your purpose, I'd say.
What are some habits that you incorporate? Like for me, going to the gym helps a lot because it gives me like mental clarity. But like, what are some other habits that could help me?
Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it. Like people always say, like, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I go to the gym, I go to the sauna, I do a cold plunge, I have my journal, I do gratitude affirmations, I write my to-do list, I drink my supplements, I get 10 minutes of sunlight, I drink my coffee 90 minutes after I wake up. Like, bro, just simplify the crap out of it. Like, really, dude, if we broke it down to bare essentials, would you make progress if you worked 12 hours per day with no distractions, no phone, solely worked 6 days per week for the next 6 months? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
So just simply that.
Yeah.
Figure out how much volume do I need to do, how fast and urgently do I need to do it, and what are the correct things I need to work on that are actually going to move the needle. That third one is honestly one of the most important. A lot of times people are working on bullshit in their business, redesigning their logo, getting new shirts, getting new business cards, making everything look super sexy and nice. Bro, just get more clients and make your current clients worth more. How are you going to get more clients? Acquisition. Paid ads, organic content, warm outreach, cold outreach, good referral system, partnerships with other shops that can direct you more customers. How are you going to make your current clients worth more? Get them to buy again and more often. Get them on maintenance plans. Remind them in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year to repurchase your service because they need it again. Simply put, that's all you need to focus on. More acquisition, get more clients, increase ad spend, call your leads faster, do more volume, be more personal, practice your sales. And then from there, just make them worth more. How can you get them to buy more of your stuff and pay you more often? That's it. If you focus on that, you're going to make a shit ton of money. And then from there, the logistical, mental side of it is just work for long periods of time. Like simply put, what's the definition of discipline? The definition of discipline is working an extended period of time consistently without a immediate piece of satisfaction. For example, people who go to the, you said you go to the gym. You might think, oh, dude, I'm going to the gym 6 days a week. I'm freaking buff. I love the gym. In my opinion, that part of your life, you're not disciplined because you like to go to the gym. It's of benefit to you. You enjoy going to the gym. That's not being disciplined. If I like going to the gym, bro, I'm just doing it because I love it. I play pickleball 3, 4, 5 days per week. I'm not disciplined getting my freaking, cardio in. I just like playing. But if I don't like going to the gym and I still do it 6 days per week, then I'm disciplined. So just be disciplined in your work. Work 6 days per week, 8 to 12 hours per day. Put your head down, put your phone in another room, write down, hey, what is the one thing if I worked on it for 12 hours straight today would change the result of my business in a week? That's all you need to work on. Like literally, there's only one, like always remember this, there's only one challenge or bottleneck in a business at a time. You might feel like you have 10 different challenges, but if you boiled it down to one, if I worked on literally to end it off this, ask yourself one question. If I only worked on one thing for the next year that would change the trajectory of how much my business made, what would it be? And once you answer that, that's what you need to work on a majority of the time. And for a lot of businesses, that's acquisition. How can I make my organic content better? How can I make my ads better? How can I make a good referral system that's going to incentivize my actual clients to talk more about me? Like just focus on acquisition and making more money.
Thank you, bro. Means a lot.
Of course. Sweet. I think we'll end it here. We went over a lot, obviously a little bit over our time. We did a 2 hour and 8 minute call, which I'm super happy about, but sweet. Guys, send it off this small little group that we have left. We're going to do this every 2 weeks. If there's ever a position where I can do it more often on a weekly basis, then by all means we'll do it. I think by only offering it 2 days out of the month, it's going to make it a little bit more incentivizing for you guys to join and want to stay. Hence the reason why I'm okay with it going over time. So if next time we take 3 hours, by all means, we'll do 3 hours. But I just want you to go let you guys know this is a great opportunity every 2 weeks, every Sunday, 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. Hop on, ask questions, learn value. I want our service to be more than just what it is, which is just marketing. I want there to be real valuable information that you guys can grab. But yeah, we have some updates coming this week. You guys will see that. Some cool stuff we have prepared for you guys that we'll be sending in the chats. But other than that, appreciate you guys. God bless you. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Let's have an awesome week. Let's crush it and let's stay focused.
Thanks, bro. Helped a lot.
Of course, dude. Peace out, guys.
Can I-
Pablo, go.
Can I get a
Peace.
quick personal 5 right now?
100%.